afternoon's Draw 8. Draw 8, the B event quarterfinals between Never Blame the Iceman. They'll be curling with the Red Stones. Skip, Dave Schmel. Lead, Vice, Leslie Gray. Second, Ian Schaefer. Lead, Michelle Schaefer. They'll be playing against from Potomac using the Yellowstones, the Sweeping Strangers. Skipped by John Scholl. Viced by Michelle Ryan Schwartz. The second is Frank Kemper, and the lead is Bethany Mayo. Myself, Alan McNeil, and Ann Wiggins will be your announcers for this game. Mike Sells working the board. Other games on the sheets today. Sheet A is Iced Amarentia, which is a team from Potomac and the Curling Club of Central Virginia, against Team UHL, which is a team from Cape Cod. That's an event in the C quarterfinals. Inglis on sheet C. Inglis from Potomac is against North Carolina Curling, which is a team made up of members from Triangle and Coastal Carolina in the B quarters. And sheet D will be Giddy Up from Philadelphia against Petersham Kraken's team, who's from the Petersham Curling Club, in the other C quarter. We have Rocks on the Stone on the ice. Bucks County, Never Blame the Iceman lead. Michelle Schaefer throwing her first stone. I believe she was asked for a center guard. Also on the commentary is Ann Wiggins. Hi, Ann. How you doing today?
I am doing great. It was a late night last night. A lot of fun. Late into the or early into the morning, I should say, for our wonderful group here. So I'm glad to be back at an earlier hour. But I understand you're going to be on quite late tonight.
We're on for the late shift. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So
what do we got here? All right. That looks like that was put up in the top 12.
A really nice draw right up close to the house.
Might actually be in, actually. Hard to say.
What we need is a flip on the
Can
channels. Can you? So we can see it.
And Sweeping Strangers lead Bethany Mayo, throwing her first stone. I believe she was asked to do a traditional corner guard. They ignored that shot.
Thank you. Yes,
12.
it is in the house. Okay.
And they just
How are
placed
they doing?
up. It looks like a nice straight, covering the nice little 3 guard, covering the edge of the 4-foot.
I love the placement of that free guard. I hate it when they get too far over when it's playing with newbies to the team, because that gives them the ability to use that rock later much more to their advantage.
And just a reminder for people who may have tuned in because they found us in a random YouTube search, this is a 5 and under tournament. All the players in this tournament have 5 or less years of curling experience. So
thus my reference to newbies.
Newbies, exactly. So newbies is crazy important. All right, so
looking good here. They're sweeping second stone.
What are they looking to do?
Looks like a little tap up, maybe.
A love tap on the red stone there.
Or guard.
It is Valentine's Day weekend after all. They didn't quite get to the tap.
Okay, but it looks like a nice center guard, just off center.
Pretty well covering that. That's good. All right, so let's see what John Scholl wants Bethany to do with her second stone.
He tapped the ice for a come around.
Come around his guard. Come around
their guard. His yellow guard.
That's a logical shot. All they need to do is pretty much be full 12-foot to be shot at this point, but it's way early in the end, so things will change dramatically. That looks a little tight to me. It looks like it's going to be more of a raise.
He just called for a raise on our own.
It's not going to hit it right on the nose. There's going to be a little bit of angle.
Little hot. Okay, well that worked out very well.
Very well, just enough to get it out of the house.
And just biting the 12-foot.
Might be biting. Probably is biting.
It is biting.
Yeah, it's biting. Yeah, I think you're right. So that changes the house up a little bit. Yellow, the Sweeping Strangers are now lying 1, but those were just the lead stones. There's a lot to come.
All right, he's called for a draw into the house.
Okay. And just a reminder to our fans here watching, we do have a comment section, so if you have any questions or concerns or want updates on the games on the other sheets, feel free to type that in the chat box, and we'll answer those questions as they come up. And we'll also provide updates through the games as they happen. There's obviously no score anywhere yet because all these games just started about the same time.
And on time, which is always nice.
Actually, 2 minutes early. It's not even 4 o'clock yet.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
It's only 3:59 now, and we're halfway through the end. So that stone is also just barely touching the house. I think the red stone's probably shot, but at this point it doesn't really matter.
Not yet.
So the Sweeping Strangers second, Frank Kemper, getting ready to throw his first stone of the game. Looks like John called for just a draw around.
Draw around.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind if he tapped his up just a little bit, but this looks...
It looks pretty good if he can get around. Yeah, now he's calling sweep. Looks like he's going to get it. He's going to get a little tick.
Yeah, a little tick, and it's going to tap, and it's actually going to turn into a secondary guard on his.
Not a bad call.
No.
Worked out okay. That nice lightweight. They're still trying to figure out the ice, read it, and obviously he had a little bit of more ice than he needed for that come around, but that worked out very well.
And if I saw Dave's call correctly, he wants to nestle one just to the right as we're going to see the house of their current stone, which I guess he thinks is shot. He's probably right. I'm not sure I agree with this call, but that's, he's on the ice. I'm behind the commentary box. So.
Well, either that was thrown very wide or the ice was way off because it's...
Wow. Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's moving at all.
No, it didn't move at all.
It's not all that heavy either.
Skip is back there sweeping like crazy. Is he going to get it out?
No,
it ends up being shot rock.
So actually now that redstone that was just biting the house is functioning as a corner guard, guarding the one in the back 12, just nibbling the 8-foot. So currently, Bucks County, Never Blame the Iceman, is probably sitting 2. Maybe not. It's hard to tell with those 2 stones up the top. Just a reminder, if you're judging from our cameras are not 100% exact, so there may be a little bit of fisheye effect.
So we've got the next stone away on yellow, and they are calling. He's called for another draw round, but it is again not curling as he expected.
No,
so
not at all. That's gonna tap his yellow over to the side. He might get a...
might be a little biter, but...
I think I see enough white. I don't know. Hard to say. Again, like I said, our
the
cameras
angle.
aren't perfect. Yeah. This is why I was mentioning that a minute ago. Okay. So, we are now throwing some Vice stones. Leslie Gray, Never Blame the Iceman's Vice. These guys are from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Nice club they've got up there in Bucks County.
I haven't been up there yet.
GNCC rather. But
okay, they're calling sweep. He's calling sweep early for line, obviously. Now he wants them to come up. He's got enough room.
He's just a little bit inside that line that didn't move at all with the last stone.
They're really struggling to figure out this ice.
Looks like it's going to tap and roll inside
and that
a little
might,
bit.
And
actually, he split it on. So now
actually,
that's
a
laying
very
3.
nice shot.
Yeah.
Laying 3. And unfortunately for Team Sweeping Strangers, they have hammer, and the 4-foot is not available.
No, not at all.
So they're having to do lots of come-arounds.
Yeah, tap game. Now, John's capable of throwing some taps. I've played against him before, and he is definitely throwing.
Okay.
He's got the shot in his box. He'd rather not have to, obviously. So he's going to be asking Michelle Ryan Schwartz to do a little bit of cleanup over here. Is that? No, he's
no. He's asking for. He was drawing in, but that's curling quite a bit.
Wow.
Actually, he might get something out of it by a promote because of the amount of curl.
That stone curled 5 feet easily.
Yeah. All right, they got to promote, but not enough.
Not enough to make a difference.
Not enough.
But it does kind of change up the angles of stuff over here. As you can probably hear, we have both skips mic'd up. Dave's natural voice is a little bit louder than John's, so he's coming through a little bit clearer. He just said he wants to plug this up. Can't say I blame him.
That would be the ideal shot.
Yeah, sitting 3 without the hammer going into the Vice's second stone. Yes! All right, Richard Chin out here on the commentary asked, did you manage to find Ann a booster sheet to see the ice, or is she standing up behind the glass?
I resemble that remark. Thanks a lot.
And while Richard was busy annoying the other commentator, Leslie's stone went a little bit heavier than intended, but honestly, that's okay too. It just kind of mixed things up. So now, Never Blame the Iceman is sitting 4. Sweeping Strangers from Potomac, they do have the hammers. They have that saving grace, but they need to do some work here, or this could get ugly fast.
Let's hope he can get a nice hit and roll out of this, but mainly that's got to go.
Yeah, looks like that's what John is asking Michelle to throw. Michelle definitely threw something pretty heavy on the curl.
They're not asking for sweep yet. They're waiting for it to curl.
At that weight, I don't think it would move even if they did.
Oh, she's going to get the back one.
But she's going to roll out. No, she's
Nope.
not. She rolls to the outside, but not out.
But still not overcompensating for. So they're still sitting 3. Red.
I don't know that I agree. They're definitely sitting 2. No question there.
Okay, it's that funny angle we've got.
Yeah, it's questionable out there for the 3rd, but even giving up 2 when you don't have the hammer is, when you have the hammer rather, is not your desirable situation.
Well, John does have the possibility of promotes over on the right-hand side, so that could be open to him because I think that the Dave is going to plug up this hole nicely.
Looks like that's his plan.
Of reading an individual sheet of ice as to better.
Let's listen in on his chatter.
Turn up his mic just a little bit here.
Yeah, good idea. And the guard is away. They're sweeping immediately. Now they're coming up. They're trying to get that to come over on its own.
He's looking for a little bit of curl. I think I'd start to sweep it to drag it because it has started to curl, but I don't think it's going to come over far enough.
Again, now, well, he's trying, but there's a run there that is not going to allow that. Even at that nice light guard weight, it did not come over.
Right. I think there's a path if John wants it.
He's looking at it.
Yeah, he's definitely looking at it hard. Let's see if we can listen to him on a hit ball.
It's not bad. You just have to be so patient.
He's looking more at the promote now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, so did I. Yeah, then as soon as.
More than 1-2.
It was.
Doesn't want to seem to risk that line over on
line's
the
fast now.
left side, so.
Yeah.
Almost that's called negative ice there.
Well, now he's
Almost
back to the other.
he's
still looking at it. He does recognize that he's got to call very tight or even negative ice to get that hit.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I actually had my game on Thursday night on this exact same sheet, and yeah, he learned that it took like 5 or 6 ends for me to realize it. John's doing really well catching it on the first end. You get outside, you get off the center line over there on the left-hand side of the sheet, and yeah, it is almost falling just unless you have a thrower who puts the exact right amount of curl on the stone. So he's recognizing that. You really don't want to throw over there if you can avoid it, especially on a delicate shot like that. Now, on hit weight, it might be okay. But
hit weight would be doable.
Yeah. But they're spending a lot of time on that. You know.
He really is. I think he really ought to hit the first shot. He ought to try the hit, and then he's always got the promote for his second shot.
Looks like that's what he's thinking.
Yep.
He's trying to run it back. I think he's trying to run it back.
And we're hearing the other skip.
I was going to say, that's because I turned up the red mic, not the yellow
John's
mic.
got this shot.
Red, yellow, red.
That's what we in the business refer to as a idiot behind the keyboard mistake. Me, the idiot, not our lovely operator Mike Sell, who is not running the soundboard.
And I ain't touching the soundboard because I am technically challenged. I depend on you, Alan.
Yeah, okay, well, that's a poor choice. All right, so he has made a decision. He's looking for, looks like he's looking for stone to curl a little bit from our left to our right.
He is, and I'm not sure I agree with that ice. Unless, well, he's got to throw, let's see what weight he throws.
If there's the fall, it's not going to come back enough. And if he's throwing hit, I don't think it's going to bend enough on that line. We'll know in about 10 seconds.
Here comes the shot.
He's throwing it. I would call that about a normal takeout weight. He's way outside this. He's outside the broom to start with.
That is not going to come back.
He's going to tick that top red guard, drive it back. He might. Okay, he taps that out. Doesn't. Yeah, effectively, he just replaced one red stone with another red stone.
It's not nearly as close to shot as it, closer to the red at the 4 foot as it was, but it is still shot.
Still the shot stone.
And they are still sitting shot 2. So
we're only sitting the 1.
Okay.
The question is, did he still open it? He opened it up quite a bit.
That's interesting. I don't know if you just heard that. Dave thinks he's only sitting 1.
Okay.
Really?
That's why I hired you.
Although his vice just straightened it out.
No.
But the vice was like, I think I've got 2, and he said, oh, that's why I hired you. So, And that is true, especially at this level. A good vice.
A good vice is the communicator, the cheerleader,
All right,
the
guard.
settler downer.
Leslie has a sitting 3.
Oh.
Okay, so there's a severe difference of opinion.
So just the line's more important.
John's thinking.
Give him
John
whatever-
was thinking,
give him
oh, I
whatever
think
one
we're
of those
down to
raises
only
he wants
one. Leslie's like, no, I think you got 3. I can see it. It's
It's a call.
a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question.
Needless to say, he needs to throw a great guard.
Because even stealing one, it's a steal. That's what you want to do. So they're in a good situation as long as they're through with that.
Wow.
That feels way outside on this ice.
They are sweeping. Now they're they came up for a little bit. They wanted to let it.
Yeah.
He's
I
getting
lied.
some movement now.
All the way hard.
This looks really
That
good.
actually, that's going to be. He's got that right about where he.
Off.
I don't. Well.
Well.
It
I'll give
did
him a shot.
curl a little more than they
My
expected.
fault. I didn't get it out far enough.
But
I-
the question
Should've had
is
it out
he
quicker.
going to still try and get that port, or is he going to do the promotes?
Don't know. Let's find out what he's got in mind.
I think the same thing as the shot. I just don't like this. Trying to come and promote something.
And to answer on a true note, Mr. Chin's request, I am sitting on a
this is
booster
there.
of some,
It comes
and then
straight
I will
down.
be popping up and down as needed. So there.
There you go. Okay, so looks like John is settling on throwing basically what he tried to throw last time.
About right.
There's enough of a port to get there. He has to throw a pretty straight stone or account for the. On the plus side, it's the portion of the sheet that was throwing pretty straight.
It is, and it's there, and he has elected to do that, knowing that the promotes on the other
Our
side
options
were.
hit here.
He's not comfortable with those,
Go in.
and I can see why. They're at
absolutely.
funny angles.
Yeah, it's
I kinda like this, actually.
he'd have to kind of promote.
the yellow in here.
He'd have
Are
to
they
do a
trying to
3-stone
sneak through?
tap
Yes, he
promote,
would.
and he'd have to get the third of those stones to actually roll off a red and then spin in and get. Yeah, that's.
There would be a lot of ifs involved in
Yeah.
that shot.
That's it.
You might see that at the Dykes, the men's only tournament, but it would be the 10 o'clock Friday night draw, and
Over
there'd
it
be a
again.
couple of pictures of beer involved.
I get that.
We're gonna end
But
up in
I
the
also
inside
feel
of
that
it.
the Dykes would see this shot and say, this is
So
it.
this is
Yeah,
getting a less
probably.
ice than last time. I mean, I can see all of it, but
So this is actually the hammer for this.
I
end,
actually
is it
give
not?
even
Yes,
a
it
little
is.
less.
Yes, it is.
I mean, a little bit.
So he's facing 3,
Yeah.
probably, maybe only 1.
I'm
100%.
glad to see him he pulled in the
Yeah, I mean, he's,
broom a little bit.
he's right on the edge of the stone.
Yeah.
So he's calling us to not move at all, really. Because
Let's-
really, he just wants to hit a hit and stick. Gets him his 1, and he's happy. A hit to the roll and to the inside is good. A hit to the roll to the outside
No
could be a
sweeping
problem.
yet, waiting for it to curl.
That's because
No,
that's
we're not gonna get
outside
by.
the line. He's not going
He
to get past
is
the guard.
outside the line.
On the plus side, he's promoting his yellow. He might get something lucky with a
Roll it in,
tap,
roll it in, roll it in.
tap and roll.
And
I
I
still
think
gets a
he
shot out of
did it.
That worked?
Filthy but effective. Okay, good shot. John manages to.
Oh,
escape.
man.
Okay.
Okay,
Somebody's living right on that team.
exactly. Rather be lucky than good any day. John Scholl.
Coming back with
Although
a big
actually-
smile.
Well, technically the thirds are still looking at it. We don't know for sure. Our angle is he got 1. Okay, they're kicking stones now. Pretty sure John Stoll got the
The
plan
one.
B to work
1 and not 5.
to take the 1.
Yeah.
Can't be good, be lucky.
Oh,
But he had great weight.
yeah. He threw enough weight to make the shot, and he had enough weight to make the second shot. Yep. Okay. There's a yellow person sitting in the house. John's going. So yep, it is official at this point. It is definitely a take of 1 with the hammer for John Scholl. It's not what he called, but it's what worked. So that's all that really matters. So our score right now on sheet B, 1-0. Sweeping Strangers over Never Blame the Iceman as we begin N2.
And that's a lot to be said for the quiet take,
Yes for line.
Exactly.
which allowed that
Okay,
possibility
that's
to happen.
All right, so we got some action, some scores on some other sheets here. On sheet A, the C quarterfinal between Iced Amarentia and Team UHL. Whichever team took red got 1. Who is that? He asked question. Iced Amarentia has red, and they took a 1 to lead 1-0 after 1. Over on sheet C, Team Inglis from Potomac against North Carolina Curling, which is actually a combination from Triangle and Coastal Carolina. Team Potomac, Team Inglis took 2.
You know, I asked Andy the correct pronunciation of his last name.
Okay, what is it?
It's actually Ingalls.
It is Ingles?
And it's Scottish.
Okay.
And so because I mispronounced it all last night, so I want to make sure we do the correction today.
I'm going to write this right now. It's Ingles?
Ingalls.
Ingles.
He says, don't worry about it. I get it all the time.
I'll bet. Now it's
Top 4.
And they're doing a measurement over on sheet D, so we do not know what the score is over there yet. All right, so we've had the leads have thrown their first 2 stones. And we have a red stone. Bucks County's got one on the center line, just in front of the button, and Bethany's first stone is in the back, 12 foot, just off to the left.
Okay.
She's throwing her second stone now. I don't think it's. I think John was looking for the hit. I don't think he got it.
No.
Unless he wanted to hit his own, which is what he did.
No, he was looking for it, and she was just threw it outside.
Yep. Peeled out their own shot in the back 12. So now the only stone in the house is the red stone sitting just in front of the button on the center line. Which I guess you couldn't be just in front of the button unless you were on the center line now, could you?
This handle, trust me.
Michelle Schaefer getting ready to throw her second stone. They're looking for, I think he thinks it's going to curl to 3 feet to turn that into a center guard. And it might.
Let's see what happens.
Yep.
He's asking for sweep.
Yep.
Weight looks pretty good.
Whoa.
Now he's calling up, wants to get it to curl a little bit.
It's just
it's
not
a little
starting
weight.
to break yet. It's a little hefty. It actually looks like it's going to set up a nice little pocket there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well,
all right.
There's a little bit of offset.
Good weight.
John's going to try. John's asking his second, Frank Kemper, to execute the double. Looking for an up weight. The 2 stones are not exactly in a line. There's a little break there, but
it's set up for a double.
Set up for a double if they throw
if they hit it right. Afraid he might be outside. No sweep.
No.
Ooh, that's falling off.
Yeah, it is. I hope that's not a wolf.
Tip.
Okay, they got the back one.
Okay, they took the back one out, but that stone, I mean, there was a good solid handle on it. It wasn't a lazy handle or anything, and yet it fell off. It looked like it fell off a good 6 inches as it was coming down the ice.
It fell off, but it also was thrown a little bit wide, as indicated by the skip. No sweep.
Okay. So Ian Schaefer throwing his first stone of the second end. Not really sure what they're.
Well, I think they're going for second shot and separation.
Looks a little heavy.
Okay.
Looks hot. Whoa.
Certainly
no sweeping.
Top 8-ish, maybe all the way to the tee.
And that looks like a nice second shot.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Just past the tee. All right, and while we were away, the game over on sheet D, Giddy Up versus Petersham Kraken got their measurement. Yellow got one off the measurement, and that was Petersham. So they have a 1-0 lead over on sheet D. And sheet A and D are actually in a C event quarterfinal. That's a win or go home game. All 4 of these games are actually win or go home at this point.
Are they?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
This is when it starts to get real.
Yeah.
Everything up till now has just been about placing. And
we have a nice.
And the house has been cleared.
A nice
with a
double.
Very nice double takeout by Sweeping Strangers Vice, Michelle Ryan Schwartz.
And brooms up on that one.
Or actually, was that the second? Was that Ian?
That was the second.
That was Ian that threw that. I'm sorry. I saw Michelle coming down the center line. I thought she had thrown it, but I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm used to it. So that would be Frank Kemper who threw that stone.
We have a little visual here as the barman, Nick Datlow, is gathering goods for the bar
Yeah,
across our view.
6-7.
Changing the
Okay,
keg.
go ahead.
That's always an important part of any good 5 and under Bonspiel.
I was trying to be a little more
Whoa.
diplomatic about what's happening.
Come on.
But
come
that's
on, come
okay.
on,
Let's
on
be
the
honest.
pin, Come on.
Changing the keg.
Oh, heck.
And that stone is short of the house by about, a good 3-4 inches, guarding the edge of the 8-foot over on, as we're looking at it, our right. As the camera, you see it your left.
So without hammer, though, he's asking for Michelle Ryan Schwartz to there's a little excitement in the bar. Some kind of noise about the keg is is happening. So we
Keg.
have a little distraction,
Keg
but
noises.
a lot of help going on now.
So
Okay, back to the things
back
at
to the
hand.
action as John asks Michelle. Michelle is throwing this one, I can confirm that.
Yes,
But this one is
through a little narrow, but it's still
I
coming
think
around
it's
the
gonna
garden. It's going to be sitting
stay.
down nicely.
unless he
Just to
sweeps
sweep
it
it.
through.
Oh, just through.
Yeah, it's in the little corner of death. You could conceivably freeze to it on the
What's wrong,
inside and have
underneath?
a piece of the house if you want, but at this level, you never see that happen, honestly, except by accident.
Okay, so now
Leslie.
is going to try and pull off this come around.
Okay.
And her throw looks good, if not
All
a
right,
little
it's
heavy.
Not curl. Wait for it to curl. Looks
And
heavier than that.
Apparently, they're looking for some curl.
Looks like it might stay out. It's not going to get enough curl.
No,
and the
it's
question is
certainly
it
not
going to
gonna
stay in the
Whoa,
house?
whoa, whoa.
Feels back 12-ish already, and John puts some broom on it. He might drag it through.
And he
I
does.
think he
Good
did.
sweep, John.
Yep, he got rid of it.
So the struggle is everybody's trying to get behind that corner guard.
Yeah, and so far, nobody's quite figured out the line.
Or the
John-
weight.
Well, yeah.
It's only two things, line and weight.
Good comment. Good point. Michelle Ryan Schwartz throwing her second
Stone, and
her
she
second
looks
vice stone.
she
No, no,
looks
no, no, no,
better.
no, no,
Although,
yeah.
yeah, they do need to sweep this to get it by.
And
got good weight.
It's coming. Nope. It's already. Well, maybe.
No, it's
Maybe.
going to be close.
I think it's gonna tick off.
Nope.
It's passed.
But unfortunately, because they had to sweep, they also
Yeah.
broke down the resistance enough, and it went through.
Yep.
Let's try and put
Little
one
too
over
loud.
here.
Okay.
Why not?
Dave saying, you know what?
We
I've had
clearly
enough of
can't
this.
put one
I've had
there.
enough of this left side of the house. I'm throwing something over to the right. And I can't.
And
blame
I
him.
actually like this
Yeah,
better
okay.
because you save that for later now.
And more importantly, eventually, you got to know when you cut your losses and stop chasing a shot that's just
Yes,
not
right. I
just
think
not
so.
in the arsenal today.
Yep.
Especially when
Come
you've
on,
seen
bring it,
so
guys,
many
bring
come
it.
down and
Hard,
miss.
hard,
Right.
Hard, the tiger.
It can get in your head.
Okay, he's got the sweepers working this like mad.
Tiger.
I think they got the house.
Whoa.
Yep, they
Great
got the
They
house.
got the
Nice
house.
shot.
Good sweeping.
Heck, they got the 8-foot.
Team shot.
Sweepers definitely drug that into the house. Nice. It's over
There we go,
on
Greg Wolf. That
the
should make
right
you
side
happy.
of the sheet. It's about halfway in the 8-foot.
Right there.
They are happy with that.
That's a very nice shot at this point.
We're just throwing rocks away going that
Roll
way.
that way.
We're just throwing rocks away going that way.
Yeah, you hear Dave discussing. Yeah, he's like, we're never gonna get there. So yeah, leave that side of the
Over
sheet
hit, I
away.
guess. I mean, if it comes all the way across, we get behind cover, great. But I don't know.
All right,
That's
so
fine.
John's asking
This end looks a little
for
bit different.
a
Whatever,
very,
get it out.
very, it's very smart call here. He's looking to
That was
hit the
unfortunate
red for
result
sure.
on the,
And in a perfect world, he's going to roll over to the right, as from our viewer's point of view at least.
And he's throwing inside
Actually,
out.
I'm sorry, to the left. I'm sorry, from our viewer's point of view, and try to get behind that stone that they were all trying to draw behind for him.
So let's see what the ice does here.
Yeah.
I think they're going to need to sweep this.
Ooh, that's. I
Yes!
think he was wide on the
Yes!
let go, and yeah, he's past it already.
Actually, he was narrow on the let go.
Come on!
Okay, yeah, you're right. And yep, he's outside it.
Right.
Whoa.
Good try.
And that is that they are still trying to, they don't know what this ice is yet and where to put
Right.
the broom.
I'm not trying to kill you. Okay. Now, we can either do that or put another one in front of this.
The reference "not try to kill you" had to do with brooms and near people's heads. It had nothing to do with the deliberate animosity on the ice.
No.
Just want to clarify that.
Near collision, basically, behind the house and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll just bite there.
All right, looks like he's thinking
Should be about
about
here, I think.
doing a productive guard, scoring guard.
All right, guys, throw a biter in front of it.
Yep.
Throw a biter in front of it. See what he throws, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so Dave's kind of throwing the two-shot strategy. He's throwing this one
I'm actually looking
to guard, just bite.
A biting guard.
Yep. See what John does with it, and then react from there. That's basically what you do with this one.
Thrown well.
He's asking for about 3 feet of break on this.
They are sweeping.
Take a look, guys. Take a look. Take a look. Let curl.
Hasn't broken off. There it goes.
There we
That's
go.
breaking off the center line.
Pull it over, guys.
It was a very,
Come on, put it on.
very late
Put it
break.
on. Put it on.
Is it going to get to the house? Not quite, but it is a
real
guard.
close, though.
It is a perfectly viable guard.
All right.
Plan A
That's fine. No, well, I need
accomplished.
the line.
Mission accomplished.
And he wanted,
Get the guard.
Yeah, he wanted the bite, but he'll take the guard. All right, so John getting ready to throw his last stone to the end.
Yeah, I had that line.
Draw behind.
He could try to hit that red from the outside, but that's the piece of ice that's
You
been,
see this back there?
Tricky.
yeah, tricky's good. I was thinking of some slightly more harsh
that?
words,
You
but
see it,
yeah,
Frank?
let's go with tricky. Let's leave it at tricky.
Frank, can you see this all right from back there?
Although he is thinking about it.
Go from right here.
And yep, that's what he's got in mind. He's coming at it from the outside, which is his only option to get there. He could get there from the inside.
And with the house, this is the only shot in the house. If he rolls out, he retains hammer.
He doesn't have hammer.
Oh, he doesn't have
This
hammer.
is
Sorry, you're right.
John's not hammer. This is John's last shot.
He
doesn't
has
have
to hit and stick.
He needs to hit and stick to force Dave to either hit and roll to blank or just take his one and move on. Dave doesn't want to just take a one, but unless John makes this shot, Dave has a wide open house for a second.
And the shot is away. Let's see what it does.
It's always hard to play these hits from the outside in, and I think John
Oh, boy.
John
It's just falling
fell
off.
into the he just fell into the typical shot. He missed the broom off by a good foot and a half, and
And
take
it
out
just-
weight, it's just never coming back.
It's not coming back.
So now Dave Schmel has
Oh,
basically.
I like
Ooh,
it.
He's trying to be fancy.
And he should. This is a perfect opportunity.
Two in.
A perfect
that one.
opportunity to split a guard on.
I'm trying to
It's
figure out which
just
one's easier.
inches
This
from
one
the
might be
house.
easier.
Oh, now he's decided
can
to
hit it
try
here.
a different one,
Not
which is
sure
a little farther out.
I'm not sure I agree with it that
Ah.
that one's easier.
I don't.
And then
I
the
don't
shooter
agree that that's
can go off
easier.
over there.
And actually, hitting that one is
So,
dangerous because
throw
if
back
he's
here.
going
Yes.
too much weight, he could.
We'll put it about here.
That's.
We want to hit. We want to hit
I
right here.
think
But
he's-
it
think
always
he's-
comes
And
down
then
to
we'll have
Skip's
to pay
prerogative.
attention to
Absolutely.
sweeping both
He's
the,
got to feel comfortable about
rocks.
the shot.
Absolutely. I don't know that I agree with this choice, but it is his choice to make.
Well, the other side is a lot swingier, so he could
try
be
split them.
concerned about missing it completely and not
Split.
getting the roll on. So this is the
Yeah.
straighter
We
side.
got to catch
True.
about a third of the rock on this side. Be ready to sweep both the rolls.
So listen to his instruction,
Throwing
and
about
he's
back
let
8
his sweepers know what to look for, which is always good.
292. Okay, so I need to be faster than that. Let's go. Well, Nancy wants an 85, but I'll probably throw a 75.
Good communication.
Okay, so the little splits there. He's looking for a 275 on the release. I felt a little more than that, but
They're sweeping.
they are. I didn't put a stopwatch on. That felt closer to 3.
They're sweeping. I'm not sure they're
right,
going to
just take
get
a
the
straight-
roll
It's
on,
going
but
to
they
be
will
a
get the
tap,
two.
and the tap should leave it in the house.
Straight
That
tap's
shouldn't
fine.
be a problem.
That works too.
That's that's
right.
fine. That's a 2. So that's 2 for Dave Schmel. The third would have been nice, but he didn't really need it. He goes up 3-0 after 2 ends.
But
No,
I
I'm sorry.
love
Figured
that
that
he
was worth a
tried
shot.
for it.
I'm sorry. Cancel that. He goes up 2-1
At
after
least
2
twice,
ends.
you know, you miss it, you're okay.
John has the hammer back as we go into the third end.
Yeah.
I love that he tried for it, but I really wish he had tried for the one on the other side.
Yeah, I believe I agree with you. So
All right.
a couple of our games have made it to the third
Bob,
end,
top
but they
4,
didn't
Bob.
post second end scores, so we're not sure what has happened yet. And actually, sheet D, because they had the measurement in the first end, is a couple stones behind.
A little bit slower.
Yeah, that happens. No big deal. There's no clocks in these games or anything, so there's no...
Which is nice for the 5 and unders.
Exactly.
That would add undue pressure. They've got enough pressure on themselves.
6-7 is good.
All right, so just a reminder for those who have any
6
questions
is
or
fine.
anything,
Do not want to be behind
we
the
do have
tee
the
line.
chat session up here on our live stream. Just punch your question in, and Mike Sell working
That's
our
6,
board
you're
will
fine.
Bring up the question, and
Nice.
we'll get the answer to you as quick as we can.
All right.
We're here
Anyone out
in
here?
the
In is also good.
sheet B, on sheet B at the 4 o'clock draw of the Kayser Bonspiel. This is a B event quarterfinal. The winners of these will move on to the B semifinals tonight at 9 p.m. The losers are done. So the stakes get high today, starting with this draw for the rest of the tournament. For those of you just joining along, the red stones are being thrown by Never Blame the Iceman out of Bucks County, Dave Schmel, Leslie Gray, Ian Schaefer, and Michelle Schaefer.
And it looks like, unfortunately, the Yellowstone Bethany's is right through the house.
Yeah. Sweeping Strangers
Guards
is
okay?
yellow. They're from the Potomac Curling Club, the host club for this
Free guard.
Bonspiel. John Scholl the skip, Michelle Ryan Schwartz vice, Frank Kemper at the second. Bethany Mayo just threw that stone that went through the house. She's their lead. So Alan McNeil and Ann Wiggins here with the commentary.
And now I just have to jump in. Bethany Mayo's hat is adorable.
Bethany Mayo's hat is quite
directional
possibly
brushing.
is definitely the fashion
Statement
Sweet, Ben!
of the Bonspiel
of
so
the
far.
Bonspiel so far.
Sweet.
And her mother makes them.
Hard.
Oh, she does.
Yes, I complimented her on last night's hat. This is a different one, and I'm very impressed. I have to get to know Bethany's mother.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it would look quite fashionable on you, Alan.
Well, you know, I always do curl in the different hats. I mean, that is kind of the thing. And you know, my wife was too busy this season to knit me a new one, so I need to get one.
Okay.
That might be a good look for me. Probably not. But it will.
I'm thinking it's a little better look for me, but I could
Oh,
be
it's a
wrong.
good.
Do that.
I'm flexible.
Okay.
Any back house. We just come around, push them back.
It's looking for the come around. As it is still the free guard zone, he can't touch the guard that's up front.
And the shot that you guys see in the house just in front of the tee line, just
Yes.
to the
Yes.
left of the center line, is perfectly behind that guard at the moment. I'm sure John will be getting rid of that guard shortly, but he can't with this stone, although he's about to accidentally.
Yep.
If that goes out of play, that will be a free guard zone violation. Does it have enough juice to get to the sideline?
No.
It was actually a tick shot. Not
This is what they do at the Nationals on purpose.
exactly.
Guard.
Let's pretend.
12's
Let's
okay
say
now.
John called that.
Okay.
John called that. That was a perfectly executed tick shot by
Absolutely.
Bethany Mayo.
Absolutely.
Could not have
24.
asked for anything more.
They were mentioning, I don't know how much you were watching, but one of the things that they talked about is that tick shot on for the free guard zone is becoming a critical part of the game.
It is, especially in the 9th and 10th ends on close games. And you know, the players at that level playing on the perfectly manicured ice with the brooms where they can basically control the
Gotta
stone like a
curl.
joystick.
Whoa. Off.
It's a different game than what we're
Right
playing
off.
down here, it seems like sometimes.
Oh, yes.
It does have a little more than you thought, yes. All right.
All right. David
like-
had his
Yeah, go on it. Get on
Going to
it.
be a
Second,
freeze.
Leslie.
They're going for
Right.
the freeze.
Nah,
Oh,
left it
that didn't
about
work.
18 inches short
No
on
problem.
that, but 2 in the house is never a
Enter
bad
double.
thing. It is doubleable. A nice
Got it
straight
back.
hard nose should take both out. Doesn't even have to be all that hard, really.
Well, as long as John continues, as long as he's got an open house in the 4-foot with hammer, that's what he's looking for.
Right.
So now he's going to go for
He's going
A double.
for the double. Looking for some good weight. Shot looks good coming out of the hand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Throws the sweepers on it. It's even at this hit weight, it's moving. But I
They are
think
sweeping.
he's going to get.
Is he going to get the double?
Just outside the nose. No, just a straight promote.
Little
and
jam back.
Shooter rolls out of play.
But he does take one
Let's
out.
get rid of one.
Put it back.
Getting rid of one is always a good thing.
We'll shoot for an actual guard this time.
I think that was a backhanded compliment from Dave Schmel to his second Ian.
Hey, you got to be positive.
Yes, line. Yes.
Calling his sweepers on.
So he thinks they came out a little bit narrow to be the
Whoa.
guard that he needs.
And he's absolutely right because it's already across the face. And
Well, it's coming in.
actually, he's probably going to tap it up a little bit. Only a couple inches, though. A little bit of a split.
All right.
Puts it just on the button.
Shot rock on the button.
Shot rock on the button. Seconds the shooter
Hit on this
rolls
side, try to get him.
not quite touching the
He saw
forefoot.
hog line coming up
Over
awful quick.
again to the left of the
Try like
center
this,
line.
too. I don't know which one's
That's all
better.
that was. He said, oh, crap,
Yeah,
it's a hog line.
that's where he just came down, too.
Okay, he's thinking out
Thinking
what
about
he
trying to
wants
get
to
them both?
do.
Or does he want to get the one and be sitting in front of the other one to
Difficult
take it out
position.
later?
He's actually, I think what he called, what John called for is a double. You can't get two going for one.
that
So
for you
he's
would be
going for the
having
double.
13
Once
items
it's
in a 12
across
item
the
lane and trying
face.
to figure out what to lose.
think.
Yes.
Okay, if it crosses, maybe. But that's
He's calling for the sweep. That's not going to do it.
not gonna. He's gonna tip.
Looking good,
He's gonna
looking
tip.
good, looking good.
Okay,
Keep on
John's getting what he thinks he wants. Hits the first one.
Oh.
Yep.
Very close.
And that's
Good try.
5 and under.
Nice
John
shot.
didn't realize that
Put it back.
he hit the first one. That's going to impart a different spin on the rock, and it was
Put it
got
back.
across the face of that second one. So although it looks like you should be able to get both, it's not going to happen with that turn, unfortunately.
Not enough. Nope.
Line's good. Yep.
And
Yes.
it's
Okay, they're looking to put the guard back and a counting guard if they can.
Yep, Leslie
Whoa.
Gray throwing the stone. Weight looks about right for a guard. I
Whoa.
don't think this has
Whoa.
house, although he doesn't have the sweepers on it. I think that's a line question more than a weight
Yeah,
question.
he'd rather have line than.
And
he's
got
a
line.
nice.
That's
Nice
a nice
shot.
center guard.
Great
That's
sweep,
that's
guys.
right in front of that stone.
Yep.
You probably don't see it. Actually, you do see it on the cast. Okay. So yeah, it's
Get rid of the
guarding.
guard.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's guarding. It's about 7 feet or so. Yeah, 4 or 5 feet in front of the house.
So sweeping strangers, John Scholl Skip needs to
This looks like
clear
he's just
that
calling-
out.
He's calling the peel, calling the guard peel. And when you get your vice peeling guards, you're in a bad way. I'm not all that familiar with Michelle Ryan Schwartz's game. I haven't. She doesn't curl in the leagues that I'm in. I don't know if you know her at all.
She
Ian.
curls. She's a newer
No,
curler
let it
to
cut
the
across.
women's
yeah.
league, and coming along very nicely.
Okay. Looks like she's going to peel
Okay,
this
she is
on
going
the
to peel on
inside.
the
Yeah,
inside.
it's a
Whoa,
perfectly executed peel, truthfully.
very nice.
Nice moves, Bethany.
Nice shot.
She looks as though she's disappointed with the
Put it
shot.
back.
I don't know why she is, because that was exactly what was asked for.
Oh, I think we always have that image that we're going to do that run back double. That in the back of your mind.
But truthfully, the peel was the correct shot for the situation.
Yep.
Well, line, wait a minute
And
for me,
now
wait a minute.
Dave's
I
asking
want
to
get
put it
some
right
curl.
back. This looks inside. Well,
Go.
okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was inside, but he's telling the sweepers he needs curl. I can't see on block
Sweep
right
hard.
Yeah, I can see it, and they do need
getting better every
curl.
second.
Yep.
Keep it going.
Keep
Whoa.
it going. It's coming in nicely.
now. I still can't. Okay,
Well
yep,
done.
okay, there it is. Yep, that's
Again, Leslie
about
threw a wonderful
Do it again.
foot,
guard.
about a foot closer, maybe. Actually, probably not. It's probably pretty much exactly
Not
where
a
the other
place to
stone
put it,
was.
sweetheart.
And those were fist bumps on that one because she was able to execute two lovely guards.
And are we peeling it again? Yes.
Yes, they are.
Strangely, he's peeling from the other side.
It's because of the vegan soup.
Or is that the same? Not the same peel. Never mind.
Same peel. He gave her a little more ice because she did peel on the
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
It's
whoa.
low
not,
side.
this
Now
one's
it's not coming
back,
in.
though. Wow, that's odd. Although it doesn't look like she has much handle either. does she get to the back one? She gets
She
the back
does.
one. She gets the takeout.
Oh my gosh.
Looking for the peel, gets the takeout. That's okay too.
How about that
I
switch,
think
Vince?
they'll take it.
Just like they drew up. That's their story, and they're sticking to it.
Apparently, yes, we could have placed the guard slightly better. Let's draw in.
Nice comments.
Okay, Dave evidently has a good attitude towards this.
Yes, he does.
We have a blank house. Dave's trying to put one behind the guard. I'm sure he would rather be replacing the guard, but you take what you get.
Yeah, let's draw in. I joked and told her he could have placed it better. Apparently, we could have.
You know, we may just shut up for the rest of the game and just let Dave commentate because honestly,
He's great.
He's got just enough ball into it.
He's got a great attitude.
so he's looking to put this probably top 8 foot, top 4 foot wouldn't
All right.
suck, but definitely in front of the tee, behind the
I
guard.
wouldn't mind being at the 8 foot. I don't have to be the button here.
At this point, I'd love to comment on what I see so far in terms of
5-6 is
curling
good.
etiquette in the 5 and under,
No
and
line.
it's excellent.
That's good.
And I'm glad to see it.
Yep.
Wait for
True
the call.
camaraderie on and off the
Now
ice.
go.
Put the sweepers on it. Plenty of room to
And
get past. Is he going to
coming
be able
up.
to bury it?
Is he gonna?
It's
Oh,
partially
looking good.
burying. That is a beautiful, beautiful
job, guys.
shot. That is
Wow.
a well-thrown curling
Options
stone.
are to go after the guard or try
Wow.
to put something here to take care of it next time.
All right, so we got the second end
Thank
scores
God.
on the other games there. Ice Amarantia managed to steal one. They are now up 2-0 on Sheet A over Cape Cod. Sheet C,
Yeah, let's see if we-
the North Carolina Curling Club
Hopefully I placed
only
that
got one
okay.
with their hammer. They're down against Inglis 2-1 in the third. And over on Sheet D, I don't know because the scoreboard is completely blocked from my view. I know they're in the
Shout
third
out
end.
to
I have
all
no
the
idea what happened. in the
organizers of the Bonspiel. They do it. did a
Okay, they
great
still
job
haven't
so far.
posted the second
Fantastic.
They
It's
still
been
haven't
a
posted
great
Sheet D.
host.
Okay. The sheet game on Sheet
I know how
D is
tough
running
it
a
is
little
to
bit
run as I
behind simply
run a
because they had
Bonspiel.
a measurement in the first end, so
At our
they're a few
club.
stones behind. It's okay.
Which happens to be the second week of September. Shameless plug here to all the 67 people who may be watching right now.
He's surprisingly close. There's actually 46 people, but that's okay. I don't know what he plugged. I didn't.
Did you hear the plug?
I didn't hear the exact plug, but I think it was for a Bonspiel at Bucks County. Bucks County does have a lot of them.
Okay.
I know I was at their Crooked Billet Bonspiel last year. It was the first time they had that particular event, and it was Kentucky Derby weekend in May. But I know that they have a few throughout the year now that they have year-round ice. So they are definitely taking advantage of year-round ice at Bucks County.
Great.
Absolutely.
Love to hear that.
I'm going to have to get out there. I mean, I'll try to get a team together and get out there for something this summer. Okay, so John's looking
For the run back,
Run back
let's
double.
see.
It's pretty nosish. Not
Nope,
quite.
not going to happen.
He does, however, at least get enough
Move the
figure
guard.
to remove the guard and get his shooter out of the way.
That's good. I just had him sweep
Dave
earlier.
definitely knows what the ice is and what he needs to do to guard this.
Put her back.
Yeah, that's the call. Put it back.
Thank you.
I'm a little
So, I
surprised he
guess
hasn't considered
95?
getting throwing just deep enough to
Think that'll be a good target.
just touch the 12 foot.
Oh, at this
Maybe
point, I
raise the
wouldn't be
stakes a little
surprised.
bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's looking
Well,
for.
he called put it back, like put it right back where
I
it
don't wanna
was,
be on the
but
house and guard
I'm
him.
sure he wouldn't mind.
Adding to the pressure for the last shot is always a good thing.
Although I guess it would make the run back double shorter, therefore easier. So life is full of trade-offs.
Let curl.
Waiting for it to curl.
Let curl.
Is it coming in?
On tone, guys.
Hard to see.
Not
top.
coming yet. It's starting. Here it comes.
On tone.
Here it comes.
On
Actually, I
top.
think he's going to get a touch of the house.
You know what, guys?
Yep.
That'll do.
And he does.
That'll do. That's
So
probably better.
that's right there, just touching the top of the 12. It would
All right.
be
Good job, guys.
Here's the problem. We can get
3.5 foot or so run back double.
actually have enough to
Within
push
the
it.
realms of doable.
We
John can see John can see the whole thing.
won't be able to catch a lot of it. We need to come hard. If we come hard, we're going to spill, and if we spill,
That's what he's looking at. That's what they're talking about.
Let's just go for the draw.
Or is he?
Oh, now he's saying, let's go for the draw.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I when he was talking about if we give it hard we spill, and if we spill, they get one. So I don't think he was looking at the double. I think he was looking at just going for the straight for the back one.
I mean, I guess there's actually a sliver of it.
Because if he actually threw the double and spilled, he would blank, which is actually not a bad result.
Not a bad
for him
plan.
Right here.
No, not at all.
And even if he stuck and took the one to get back 2-2, that would be a pretty good result from where he's sitting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But instead, he looks like he's going for the draw. Now, what I'm not sure is he going for?
He's coming back to.
What's that?
Or
Oh,
no,
yeah,
he has to go around.
That takes away the hit because we can't roll out.
So.
Yeah. Or is he really going for a draw weight tap, expecting to tap the red out of the way and his be sitting in the 4-foot at the end of it?
That's a lot of ice for a draw weight tap.
Yeah, you're right. That definitely is.
And this is really, again, Skip's choice. What are you most comfortable throwing?
But he doesn't have much of a target for a pure draw. He basically has to put this on the button. There's no other real option. That feels heavy for that.
I'm not sure it's going to come back.
I don't think it is.
Too heavy.
I think it's
Hit the yellow and roll in if you can.
Going for the tick.
He's going to get the tick part. What's going to happen with the roll? It's rolling. No. All it did was made that second shot just a little bit more official. Didn't really make the situation any worse, but does give up 2. Never Blame the Iceman from Bucks County is now up 4-1 over Sweeping Strangers from Potomac. We did get a score update on sheet D. Giddy Up took 2 in the second end. They are now ahead 2-1 over Petersham's Team Kraken.
Top 4.
So now all of our games are, 3 of our games are rolling along in the 4th end. Sheet D is still wrapping up the 3rd. That's okay.
I do love the creativity of the names for this event. My personal favorite is Sweep Apnea.
Sweep Apnea. Actually, surprisingly enough, Sweep Apnea will be one of the feature teams in, I believe it's our Draw 9 game.
They'll actually be on sheet C. They won't be the
they won't be a feature?
But they
Bring it on.
They're doing quite well, aren't they?
But that is actually an A semifinal.
Yeah,
so
yes.
Whoa.
A event.
From,
semifinal.
I have to say, my old club,
Yep.
Nutmeg Curling Club.
All right, that'll work.
Okay, Dave bringing the action into
shot.
the house because with a 3-point lead, it's doable.
So give me hack. We'll hit and try to roll. Hack.
Dave has the new admonishment T-sweatshirt on, keep calm and curl on, and he seems to be following that to a T. He seems a very calm attitude out there.
And John Scholl asking to pick it out, and he would like to stick.
Yes,
I think he wants to stick up the top 12-foot over on our left, your right, as you're seeing the sheet.
They're sweeping hard.
They are
holding it. Holding it.
Looks like
Looks
it's going to be
good.
about 3/4. It should roll on.
And it does.
That's a nice little shot.
Very nice shot
Well delivered.
from
John-
Bethany Mayo.
John might have wanted that to be a little bit more over, take it off the center line, but close enough.
Yeah, just a little bit of background, just because I'm familiar. At the beginning of this season, we host our internal Bonspiel for the Potomac Club, the Big Spiel, we call it. And I skipped in that, and Bethany Mayo and her husband were my front end. And that particular Bonspiel was pretty much the first time they had ever played competitive curling.
Oh, wow.
And so that was maybe 6 months ago.
Wow.
So to see Bethany here making shots like that, which not perfect but perfectly usable,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yes.
made the called shot, and so it really is, one sort of impressive to just see how quickly people do actually start catching on and getting pretty darn good at this game.
Come over.
Yeah, because honestly, that was a good solid B+ stone with her first stone at the end.
Yeah. And especially as a lead, and in your first year of curling.
There are many more experienced curlers that would have liked to have made that shot.
I have thrown significantly worse shots than that this season. Many of them. But enough about me. Let's watch her second stone as they come down. John's asking her to take the stone that Michelle Schaefer had just put on the button, and
It's not on, but they may get
so if it
something out of
curls
this.
enough, they might be able to get it from the outside. No such
Oh,
luck.
no luck.
Unfortunately, and I'm not even blaming Bethany for that, because she actually hit the broom John asked for. It just John didn't account for enough swing in the ice, so
Not enough ice.
Stone came across. Bethany threw the shot that was asked for.
Like right up over here.
And that you can learn from.
Yep. You know, John does not usually skip, at least not in the leagues, not that I see very often. So, and you get that in these 5 and unders, because a lot of 5 and under players in their leagues back at home, they're doing a lot of the seconds, the vices, that kind of stuff. The ones that are skipping here at these tournaments are really learning the game during these tournaments. Some of them are getting some spots to skip at home, but not a lot.
No, one of the things that the Women's League is going to be doing this week on Tuesday nights is that we're taking a week off from regular league play, and we're going to rotate so that front end is going to come into the house and play back end.
Great job. Great communication,
and
guys.
give them that opportunity.
That's a nice little training
See
exercise.
if we can push us back into it.
All right, so now we're on second stones, so free guard zones are no longer an issue. And John is asking his second, Frank Kemper, to promote the stone that Bethany had just left on the center line there. And he wants to basically knock it straight back, which would take the stone off the button and leave him a nice little guard up front. If they hit the nose, it's a perfectly executed shot.
And the stone is away.
And it's not online.
Curling.
It's not online.
The question is, does it have enough weight or not too much weight to stay in the house?
No, this is going to be
This is
clean.
through.
Unfortunately, this is a clean miss. Ended up being about backboard weight. All right, let's see. We got a third end score over on sheet A. Team Uhl from Cape Cod hung up a 3 to take a 3-2 lead in their game over Ice Amarentia. And that's a C quarterfinal.
Sheet D update.
Sheet D. Oh, Sheet D has got a score, and they're catching up. They've got their third end score posted as well. Giddy up.
Heavier, guys.
Stole 2 to move up 4-1 over the Kraken team from Petersham. We do not know the Sheet C fourth end score. Oh, no, yes, we do, actually. I'm sorry. Third end was a blank on Sheet C. So the Inglis rink from Potomac remains up 2-1 over North Carolina.
That's
Curling.
all right. Well, that's
Okay, so we didn't have quite what?
Not to pester you about that, Alan, but you did write it down to remember it. That is pronounced Ingles.
I
You're
wasn't
right.
going to say anything.
You're right. It's right there in horrible handwriting. Ingles.
But it's hard. Once you've learned a name a certain way,
I think it's worth
it's
a try,
hard to
'cause
change.
even if we end up
So you're
opening
forgiven.
it up, that's okay.
Well, that's
Oh yeah, I did know that Andy was Scottish. I've done commentary here with Andy, and I will say that I actually have in the past described his voice as seductively Scottish.
Whoa. You are obviously quite comfortable with your sexuality that you can say a comment like that.
So, back to the curling. Frank Kemper, the second for John Scholl's Sweeping Strangers team from Potomac, was being asked to pick the stone off the button. He instead hits his guard. Also takes out the other red stone, runs it backwards to just
opens it up.
I think
spin
it's
out
still
of the house. Maybe biting.
could be biting. They're looking.
Just
He's
at
looking
the
at
very
it.
edge of the 12 if it's in at all.
But now second stone is securely hidden behind a front.
That's true. So that actually, even though it wasn't the shot that was called for, it was a
No.
useful result. It was a very useful result.
And shot rock is open, so we're going to get
Dave put the guard back.
Dave is going to have Leslie put a guard up.
Dave playing a very patient game, which you can do when you're up 4-1.
1-2 is fine.
But it actually shows a level of maturity in the
It
skip
does.
that you don't always see at this level. A lot of other skips would be like, okay, I've got one, I need to get a second one in there.
Yeah, you're holding it.
And
You're holding it nice.
He's like,
They're
nope,
sweeping.
Just gonna put a guard. The
And
line's got to be nice.
Actually,
line's
no,
good.
Actually, it overcurled a little bit. I think there's probably about a quarter of the stone exposed on the outside.
It's functional.
I actually like that
That's a
very
word for
much. It tempts the other skip.
He's looking at it. He's thinking
Here you
about
go,
it.
back 8. We're going to come down to it and just push it back.
As a left-hander, I say that I could get around that and hit it easily. But
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You're one of those sinister lefties. So
He is calling for coming around that guard and tapping it back.
I don't know. Yeah, he called for back 8 weight, so he's not actually looking to take it out as much as just get it out of the way. Now, if he does this, his shooter is probably going to be exposed. That's
not back 8.
Not going to do it.
That's a lot more than back 8 weight,
That's
too.
going to hit the very front guard, and chaos will likely ensue in the house.
I
No,
think
actually,
it's
it's
going
just
to be
going
clean.
to peel. Okay, it's just
Yeah.
going to be a clean peel.
That's not all
That's
bad.
pretty fine,
Peeling a
too.
guard is never a problem. Yep.
Guard.
Having a second peel a guard is never really a fail.
The guard did its job, though.
So just a reminder what's at stake in this game. These are the B event quarterfinals. This is the first level of winner go home.
Line.
The winner of this will be playing in the B semifinal at 9 p.m. The loser
Don't touch. No touch.
sits at the bar. All 4 of these games on
I
the
think
ice
it's
currently, and
I
really
think it's
all
at
of the
least a
games
biter.
for the rest of the
question
evening,
is
I
how much
believe,
of it-
actually.
let's see if we
Will
can't
be
line 'em up.
loser out.
Well,
Yeah.
no, actually, that's not true because we've got the next
yeah.
draw. We've actually got an A semifinal.
Okay,
Losers and
so
half
then
of
they'll
that, but
move
yeah.
down.
Almost all of the games from here on out, our loser goes home.
All right, that's fine. That's on a good line.
That came in a little bit more. John's looking at it.
He's going to have he's going to have to take that.
Drive it back.
Yep.
He'd love to get the double here.
The concern,
me a
the
hit.
danger
Ideally,
with
I would've
Michelle's
wanted to
calls,
drag it over so it was dead straight.
if she doesn't come
But
over enough,
I kinda
she
made
could
that decision a
clip
little too
that
late.
first stone over into their yellow that's currently sitting second shot and be leaving red conceivably 3 if this one up at the front is actually touching house.
I like the line he's giving, so let's see if she can come out on it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
Pretty
yes.
close.
He's asking
Got the
for a
sweepers
sweep.
on it immediately.
Yes.
It's looking
Looking good. Come on,
promising.
guys,
If it
hold it.
develops, it's developing
good.
nicely.
Looking
Yeah, I think
good.
this is going to be
Looking
solid.
good.
I think it's going to get him what he asked for. No.
Oh,
just a little wide.
A little wide.
Works out well,
And
nice.
the shooter does spin over to be the third shot.
So they keep getting
I won't
very
lie, this
close,
bothers
but
me.
no cigar.
Because I'm hanging on to this stone for dear life. And there's quite a few John stones here.
Comment from Dave Schmel.
He's right. There's a lot that John could do. I mean, right now,
I mean, I
if it
could
wasn't
do
for that
this.
red stone sitting, Dave would be in a big trouble. So he's
both-
considering clearing.
If I make
It's
that
out some
double-
yellow. Not sure I would try the
he
double.
hit
I'm not
second
sure I
one.
would either. I think I would
Or
guard
blanks.
again.
Kept
it
He's
open. I
got
really
that
like
shot
that.
down cold.
What do
He
you think?
knows it. I would stick with the plan.
For 3. Okay, we'll throw a guard. Let's have faith that we can
Yep,
throw a guard.
that's what
Okay.
he's decided to do.
Sticking with the guards. I wonder if Richard is
If
still
it's coming
online.
deep,
What would
we'll
Richard
come all
Chin
the
do
way-
here
all
if he's
the way
still on the
down
line?
on top of it. That might actually be the better shot.
Did I just hear him
But
considering
it
the
has to be
freeze?
here, though. Okay, so let's go there because yeah.
I guess the consideration there is you still want to sit 2, and so you have to come down really tight to your own stone for both to count because of where the yellows are. But if he's just
All right, well,
stealing, anywhere on that
conundrum
line
is-
is fine. It doesn't
Yes.
actually have to come all the way down.
Right, yeah,
We're
and
hanging on to that
he's
stone
in a
pretty
pure
long.
steel mode.
Yeah.
So
Line's more
if I
important.
throw the guard, that's great. If we ever miss the guard, and he pulls off a pretty shot, he's going to get 3 all day. All day.
So he's looking for insurance.
Yeah, and can't blame him.
Worth
I mean,
throwing the guard.
there comes
And if
times
it's
when
heavy,
curling is a
we're gonna come right
game
down
about
top.
defense.
Yeah.
And
What do you think? Number.
okay, Dave asking his front end
Okay.
for speed on the
All
delivery.
right, about 3.
One, two.
Let it curl.
That's
Don't
a
touch it
lot
till
of
it curls.
ice.
Don't touch it till it curls.
Waiting
Don't
for a
touch it till
curl.
it curls.
Awful light.
It's curling. Touch it. Hard. Hard. Come on,
Drag
drag
that
it.
over
Go
enough.
hard.
Okay, it's starting to be functional now. They want a couple more inches.
Oh, very well done.
That does fine. That's
All right,
fine.
good sweeping.
There's not enough room on the
Yeah,
inside
that's
to get through there,
that's
and the outs covers
Thank
the
you
outs.
for
That's
waiting.
actually,
Looking at it on the
if
camera,
you're not a guard,
there-
you're not doing any better.
yeah,
than
looking
that.
at it on the camera, there might be a port, but it's
It's
really
very
tight.
narrow.
It's not. I would not be pleased if I had to
Pick up
throw
the
that
guard.
shot.
You know me. I like narrow ports. I would not try that shot.
Yeah, I mean, if I was playing with a skip that called that, that's on them. But I don't think I can
That was-
throw it.
Thank you.
But
Well,
is he consider?
he is considering it.
Is he considering that, or is he considering the run back? It looks like he's turning. No, he's like.
He didn't
No,
even
he's
say.
throwing out a handle.
Unfortunately, he
He's
didn't even
still
say a
gonna have to
word that we could get through the headset.
It might just be the
I think he's
peel.
picked up on the fall by now.
Screw that guard.
Could be calling another. Yeah,
Maybe it's
exactly.
red.
Okay, he's just calling the peel. Okay,
Was that? Yep.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, he's ever wide, and we're going to have some kind of fun.
Yeah. Now, he's Dave pointed out quite what I was just getting ready to point out, which is that if John is even just a little bit wide on this, he could accidentally hit the port.
Yep.
Or if he's way wide, he could accidentally promote a red onto his yellow that's currently second stone, and then life gets interesting. But that's not happening here. Taking a look at that.
Oh, I hope he's
not
not getting a
wide.
straight run back.
He's pretty close to a straight run back, but it's heavy.
No.
It misses, and it's heavy
Oh,
enough.
that's terrible.
It goes out, but
Oh,
it puts
that's
his
sort of the-
guard in the. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's sort of the worst of both worlds.
That's
It is.
pretty horrible.
Because if he hits the straight run back and doubles it out, at
Sure.
least
Guard
he's
over
sitting
here.
there in the
Yeah.
house. But if he
I guess we could have knocked that one.
Because I don't want to give him
yeah,
play
he
any of
didn't
this.
clear the stone from the house,
That's
but is
unfortunate.
sitting in the spot of the guard.
Yeah.
That's-
So now Dave's sitting there with. He doesn't need to replace
he
the
could-
guard.
he
He's
could
got a guard.
throw
It's the wrong color, but
ours
he's got a
on
guard.
That, right?
It's as
Knock
good
it
as
off. He could run his
Yeah.
own back.
it's a guard.
Yeah, the only thing John could do with it is
That's
run it straight
obviously-
back.
that's a
And
hell of a
honestly,
long-
sometimes
that's
you
a
get in a
hell of a long
situation where you're
run
like, that's what he's saying. That's a hell of a long run back. If he makes that run back, you stand up and salute
I
him.
don't know. I mean, because I don't think that's any good.
Yeah, and in this spot, you start to think, well, maybe you just get rid of a yellow, but the where the two are sitting, if he goes after them, he runs a pretty good chance of jamming one of them into the
Yeah.
shot stone.
He could.
You
So
know what
that's
I-
a pretty
he
bad
just
shot.
needs
You know what I
Draw,
actually
we
do?
shouldn't
I
deny it.
actually put a stone trying
So put one
to
here.
freeze it on that yellow.
Yeah, let's come here.
I'll put it in front of that yellow and make it so even the 5%
right there.
chance of that run back isn't there.
He's sitting pretty well right now. So all he's going to do is try and
Guard
guard,
the outside line.
an outside line.
Yeah, basically
Also-
he has to guess.
Also a viable option.
He has to guess
think his
what
best
he
shot's
thinks
a draw.
John's hammer is going to be, and
So
try to
let's just deny
prevent
that.
that shot.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, basically he's given John he's given
in
John
line with 4 foot.
the 10-foot straight
ju-
run
you know,
back.
Yes,
wants
the
to be-
degree
wants
of
to be the edge of the
difficulty
floor.
shot
It's
is,
yeah,
is
yeah.
left.
Obviously
If
off
you
the
make a
house.
10-foot straight run back, more power to you.
Like,
But
a two-guard is-
good luck. Go make that.
Very ideal. Okay, throw like a 90. It's gonna be a little frosty out here.
All right. Dave Schmel's last stone of this fourth
Wait
event
for it. Do not
is
touch it.
underway.
I'm afraid
Feels
it's
way
gotten out
outside.
there.
Yeah,
It's
that
gotten
is-
out there in
It's
the
gotta curl.
weeds. I'm not sure it's
Wait.
going to come back.
It's got to curl a ton, and it doesn't have enough weight to last
No.
long
Leave it
enough to
high.
come
Don't
back
touch
a
it.
ton.
Don't touch it. Never, never.
He's just saying, just leave it up there,
Never,
which makes
never.
sense. Leave it up. There's no possibility of an in out or anything like that.
All right.
That stone doesn't alter the situation in the slightest. But
Not
really,
really. I'm not even sure that draw around was there for
he might
John to make. So he's looking at it, but
looks to me as though, because the yellow stone is actually just to our left, the viewer's right
not good- it's not good
of the
either.
center line, touching the center line, but just, whereas the shot stone is actually just touching the center line
there's
to
definitely something
our
tricky
right,
there.
viewer's
Well,
left.
I'll just have to
So
tip my
he would
cap
have
if
to
that
come
happens.
around a full stone and a bit, make enough contact
sure
with that
that-
red to
move
drive
it
it
back.
back.
Blowing something up on the
He'd have to
telestrator
drive
there.
it back at least 1.5 feet to be shot. To get 2, he'd have to drive it back about 5 feet. That's
The
not.
commentator's got the shot figured out. I know it.
well, we're looking
Gotta
at
say
the
I have no clue.
options.
Okay. Well, I feel better now.
Dave Schmel having a little bit of fun with those of us in the commentary box, which is kind of hilarious because he can't hear what we're saying, whereas we can hear what he's saying.
Maybe he's good
So
at
maybe-
reading lips.
You know what we should have done was we should have nodded our heads as though, yeah, we know what's going on. Yeah, we got this.
I don't know, that's there.
Yeah, sorry, I might have gave away the game. I think he caught me like shaking my head no when he said that we knew what the shot was.
Yeah.
Although there is a big difference between knowing what the shot is and the people on the ice being able to execute it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the overhead camera and stuff here, and I could probably draw you a picture of what a good shot would look like.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Oh, we
John-
can all do that.
John, I mean, John's
now
a
he's
good
looking
curler,
at the run back.
Well, that's
Is he looking for
That's a
a
TV
He
shot.
pointed to it.
but
But
that's
not
a
with
lot,
that
that's
ice.
an awful lot of ice asking.
Curl it enough.
I think he's saying that's option 2. If he, but that how can that be if he's not? He's got to throw one way or the other.
One out of it. So it's like back 4 ways.
Okay, he said he's throwing back 4 way. He's looking for to tap the red, is what he's calling. But although now he's thinking about it,
He's down in the hack and he's looking at
Yeah.
his options from that perspective.
he's in the classic the thinker pose, which when you're in the hack is you need to be done thinking. You need
it's
to
a
be
good
confident in your
idea
shot.
to take a look from that end because sometimes the shot looks different once you're in the hack, but you really don't want to change the shot once you're in the hack.
And he is severely doubting himself right now.
Yep.
And honestly,
I could
when you
plug
have
into
this
his
level
mic
of
to see what
doubt
he
in the
was
shot,
saying.
you might as well just throw it to the sideline because you're not
We're
confident in
going
your
to try
shot.
to drive our yellow back.
Okay,
Oh,
he's
he's
looking
changing
at the
his
run
mind.
back
To the
again.
yellow on the center line.
All right, guys, tune in. TV shot coming up, sheet B.
I think his front end talked him into it,
A little more.
or he talked for the front end.
I
The
hope
front end
Paul-
helped
I
him
hope Paul
talk himself
Gibson's
into
watching.
it. And hey, good time for 5 more people to join the webcast. We got 51 people about to watch John Scholl facing 1, already down 4-1 here on sheet B. Looking to execute a 10-foot
this
straight
is
run
the
back.
same.
Although on the plus side, if he gets it, he gets 3. So lots of reward for this risk.
Looks a little outside.
It does.
Outside, it's going to come back a lot.
Watch out for something crazy.
It's not going to come back enough. If it gets past the guard, he might do something weak and freaky that way.
No.
Chips off the guard. Nothing
nothing.
interesting happens.
right,
Okay.
guys.
So Dave Schmel steals another 1. Goes up 5-1 after 4. Never Blame the Iceman from Bucks County up 5-1 over Sweeping Strangers from Potomac after 4 ends. Also after 4 ends, Iced Amarentia took just 1 with
that
their
was a tough
hammer
spot.
to tie their game up on sheet A at 3.
Top 4.
The Peters and Kraken on C took 1 in the 4th to make that a 2-2 game
Okay.
against Giddy Up. Or no, I'm sorry, that's the sheet D game.
Yeah.
C is it was still yellow, so that was the North Carolina curling that got 1 to make that a 2-2 game. 4th end still in progress on sheet D.
Okay, over
Yeah.
Ingles.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoa.
Did I say it wrong or did I not say a name?
No, I'm just emphasizing
Okay.
the fact that I've got
If you
it.
keep repeating it,
Right, exactly.
Okay, it's
make
one on the
it
guard.
make
You
it
say
yours.
something
Own
10,
it.
10 times, it's yours.
Whoa. Wow. It is what it
Okay,
is at this
so
point. Yeah. Okay.
Dave
Show.
has chosen to
Get
bring
off,
in the
okay.
stone, but it
Play in
didn't
the
quite.
house.
Yes, it is in the house.
Yep, okay, there we go.
You're
Sorry,
getting
our monitor
Cameras.
actually gets switched.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Then
you.
Top 12 just to the left of the center.
And I agree with that. At this point, up as many as he is, play it in the house.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't leave anything out front for them to come around.
Play it definitely. Keep the play in the house at this point.
All right,
Okay,
line
they
looks
just
nice.
finished the 4th
Where
end
are
on sheet D. I think I saw yellow get 1, which would make that a 4-2 game.
Yeah, bring it, man.
Peterson Kraken would be down to Giddy Up 4-2. They were already moving the stones when I saw it, though, so there may have been more than 1. I know yellow got at least 1. So they're closing the
Good.
gap.
Thank you.
As soon as we get an official number. we
Okay,
will.
and Bethany Mayo makes a pretty decent draw to
Center
the
guard.
12-foot. It is behind T, just behind T.
But probably shot.
Yes, it is. Sweeping Strangers is looking for multiple points this end.
Absolutely. Down 4. I mean, the game is only half over. 4 ends left. You know, you need to get a crooked You need to get a crooked number in order to get back in this thing, but you don't need to panic yet. A 3 is just as
We're
good.
then.
Or a 2 and a steal works. There's lots of ways to come back.
Good job. Cheers.
And Dave is playing the classic steal game of in the center.
And apparently I was wrong with my say that they only got a 1 on D. Apparently they got a 2. It's a 4-3 game. Giddy up over Peterson's, the Kraken team, at 4. So we're all these games are now in the 5th end. Sheet D's done really well catching back up.
Yes, which is nice to see. Keep them close. That's what we like.
No blowouts here.
Bill T, yeah, it's got a lot.
Well, no games. No
No.
games really out of
Yeah,
hand.
I mean,
No games out of hand.
like you were saying, this is only the 4th, or they're only played through 4 ends, and it's only 4
So
points
this
here.
draw is coming. They're going for the sweep to curl around,
Nice
and
shot.
it does it very nicely.
Although
Follow
it's
that down.
at least half exposed. At least from my vantage point. Now, I'm not sitting right on the center line, so it might not be as exposed as I think it is.
I'm seeing it from sheet C, so I can see all of it, but that's...
Yeah, I have a different vantage point, boys, and it's about a quarter open.
Okay.
But it's doable.
Yeah, you're the closest to the middle of the sheet, so you probably have the most true vision of what that shot would
And
actually
it
look
looks like...
But they're going for it.
Yeah, it looks like Dave's asking Ian to take it.
Go for weight if you have to. Well lined if you can. No, you can't. Sweep. Sweep. Hard.
Dave committing
Hard
his
all the
first
way.
skip felony of the
All the way.
game.
Come on,
He told
right
the
down to
sweepers
it.
what to do
You
with
gotta
weight.
get there. You gotta get there. Get right on it. Right on it.
Actually,
Whoa.
I appreciate
Whoa.
that the way he spoke to them.
Okay, I lied. You should have kept going. I lied.
There was communication
Yes.
back and forth.
Well,
Okay, fine. Skip misdemeanor.
Okay.
Down here.
Yeah, you're definitely right. The call of the weight should primarily on the sweepers there, but as we've been mentioning, it is a 5 and under. The skip in these events usually does have a lot more experience watching a lot of rocks. So you did hear him say, whoa, if you can.
Yes.
But then Jen changed his mind. No, you can't. Just go. So he gave them some discretion and then decided to overrule them.
Yeah.
And then was wrong anyway.
And then was wrong anyway. So yeah. And actually, thinking about it, I actually think Dave is a 5. I think this is Dave's 5th-year curler, and the reason I think this is because I actually vaguely remember possibly playing against him in one of my dikes back when I was a 5 and under several years ago. And actually, if I recall correctly, he cleaned my clock, and he was a 1 back then.
Oh, okay.
So
I've definitely seen him around the 5 and unders and I mentioned some of the Bucks County
I
spiels.
kinda like this.
So I can't really remember how many times I've seen him, but he is a regular around the Mid-Atlantic circuit.
Yeah.
I like his strategy here. He's going to put a guard up and try and block getting any more points in for sweeping strangers, John Scholl, and force him to take 1.
And at this point in the game, that's
very
a
good
winning strategy.
yeah.
That's not just a good strategy. That's a winning strategy. Because John's only real asset right now is the hammer. He's down 4 with hammer. And Dave would be perfectly happy to be up 3 without hammer.
All the way.
No sweat. He'll take that all day.
That shows a good
That's all right. Well,
ice chest strategy.
Exactly. Another level of maturity.
there's worse than that.
And wow, Sheet C
That has
is
to be the brightest
Sheet C is
clock I've
curling on
ever seen.
Afterburner. They're already done with their 5th end.
Oh, you can.
The North Carolina Curling Club's team stole 1 to be up 3-2 after 5 over there on Sheet C against Ingalls from Potomac.
We go after this one. We try this again.
To be 3-2 after 5 and to be playing this quickly, I imagine it's a very hit-centric game over there.
Gotta be.
And there's at least 1 Norwegian pants curler, so you gotta love that.
Very lively over there.
But no fancy hats, so there's trade-offs.
How deep are you?
That was Frank Kemper throwing his 2nd stone at the end, and I'm not
sure what the goal was. Looks like it was a draw, but it looks a little heavy.
Looks heavy for that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's a wasted stone.
Unfortunately,
house.
that's what he did on his first shot as well.
Yeah, so that's a problem. It's a common problem here at the 5 and unders, unfortunately. And actually, over on sheet A, we're in the 6th end. And remember how a minute ago I was saying that we didn't have any big ends or blowouts going on in this draw? Well, apparently I lied. Cape Cod hung a 4 to go with the 3 that they hung up in the 3rd. They are now up 7. That is a 7. Now they're up 7-3 over Iced Amarentia after 5. Kathleen Uhl, one of the rare teams actually being skipped by a female at this tournament, hanging a couple of big numbers in the 2 ends that she scored in to take a lead over there in that C quarterfinal. One of the things about mixed curling, for those who may not know, the teams are 2 males and 2 females, obviously, you can see that, but they're required to alternate. So if your lead's male, your second has to be female, et cetera, et cetera. Most of the teams in this tournament are being skipped by a guy, but there are a few that are there are a few skipped by females. Kathleen Uhl is one of them.
She's in there.
Adapting my game to the conditions in front of me.
Okay. John has asked for another draw, and I'm not sure he's going to get that. It's curling quite a bit.
Yeah, he's gonna do some damage up to the guard stack in front. What's it gonna do? My view's blocked.
So he hits the high red, runs it back into the rest of the pile, but nothing appears to have changed.
So really all he did was add to the pile, making the mess blocking the 4-foot even just that much worse.
Little wider.
Not a lot of clearing going on in this game.
No.
As we end up with a lot in front.
No, this is going to be one of those stones with one of these ends with 15 stones in play at the end, which really doesn't help John in his comeback effort. I mean, he doesn't need to be completely clean, but he needs to be a lot cleaner than what he's got, particularly because actually the 2 stones that are sitting in the back at this point out of play both belong to John. He's the only team that he's the only guy who's got stones that have been tossed aside this end.
Another guard thrown up.
Dave just throwing more in the mess. Can't blame him at all. At this point, basically, in order to do anything about that, you'd have to move.
He'd have to blow up a lot.
About 160 pounds of Canadian granite, and
keep his rock on the button from moving.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, that ain't happening. And you can kind of
around here again.
All he's got is the draw from the outside, from the right to the left.
No smash. Not smash.
Oh.
No, it doesn't need
so let's see what Michelle Ryan Schwartz can do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That
I
feels
think
tight.
that's narrow again.
Yeah, it's very narrow. It's extremely narrow.
Let's hope that isn't a promote.
It looks to me like it's going to chip off the
it's
top
gonna
yellow.
Tick. It will tick off yellow.
Off the top yellow. No, actually, it ticks off the top yellow. But actually, no. Okay, and it rolled far enough away that it actually didn't even get completely out of play.
Out of
play.
Got
completely out of play. So actually,
I might have to do this
peel
now
the guard. That's not the worst thing that you could do at this point, but it's also not the best. Oh, we got another question from Richard. Did he manage to? No, we had the same question.
Want to do?
Just needs to peel that red rock on the left. That may be an old question. Maybe an old comment. Is that when was that?
No, it says less than a minute ago.
I'm trying to see if I mess this up, if he ever gets here.
Peel that red rock.
I don't think I can clear it out enough to really screw me.
Yeah, so I'll put up the overhead here.
Come here, right?
And then I'll point at the monitor that no one online will be able to see. But there is a sort of chance here where I think there's a possibility where you could use this stone to split off of that stone. And assuming it doesn't jam there and it doesn't jam there,
it's gotta hit.
Then those 2 yellows would be 1 and 2.
Okay, and for those of you who can't see Mike Sell's fingers on the on the monitor, he's referring
can't see
to
our
the stone,
demonstration.
He's referring to the stone that that Dave is actually spending an awful lot of time looking at.
Yeah.
And considering the split over there,
in front of this stone so I can
and he's gonna Dave's
Well,
blocking
yeah.
it
Now
up.
that the yellow guard that they just threw rolled over to the left, it's sort of blocking
We're going
those two
to
reds.
catch the
There
far
was
outside of our rack.
Let's hear what
a really
he's-
thin double that could have been there. But
That's not a Dave smash. No, sorry. Don't want to disappoint the kids at home, but no Dave smash.
What? No Dave smash.
Just
I want my
kinda
money back.
catch the far outside of that rock, and it's going to cut it across and hopefully push him off the button.
Okay, he's going
Do
for all
what
the
to do?
marbles.
This has to be
He
hack weight.
He wants to. He's trying to pop his red in to take
take the yellow
to
out.
take the yellow
I have
out.
no good sense
okay.
what that is, Ian.
You know, he's really got nothing to lose trying this shot.
Well, other than if he really screws it up, he could open a port for John to somehow find a second point.
Gotta get past the guard.
Got his sweepers working awfully hard. Okay, he's passed all the guards. He's got contact. What's going to happen here? No, he chips his.
he made the shot that I was just talking
that was-
about,
not
except
good.
the red sits between the yellows
All right.
and doesn't make it too yellow yet.
The question
Yeah.
is there room for John to curl in? To be
or
second.
alternatively,
Or hit and roll.
Can John chip
I'm gonna
that
live to
red
regret
that's
that.
in the 8-foot over on
Yeah.
the right out and thereby be sitting 3? Because he would be if John popped that red. Although it'd be
sure
hard to
those
pop
didn't
that
think
red
I
out
was
and
giving
stick.
them
But
no.
if
Well,
you
I
got-
think
if
he ought to
got
look
a-
at that.
That'd be
If
fancy.
you got a nose, yeah, this is not the hammer. This is his first skips rock at the end. You know what? Why don't we shut up and let's see what John's thinking?
That's the shot. He's got to hit and roll.
With hammer, I would say pop that red right on the nose, sit there, get
Absolutely.
your 3. To do it now, you do have to get that roll, or else you just sit there exposed for red
True.
to W out,
Yeah.
and you're back to 1 again.
But if he doesn't try it
I like
now,
coming this way.
If he doesn't do something with
Okay,
it now,
he's
red's
looking.
gonna
Yeah,
guard
he's
it up.
looking at the draw on the other side
I
of
don't
the
want to
ice.
leave him anything to hit.
And he's correct. He doesn't want to leave him anything to hit, which means he's got to get
Here's the
behind the
thing.
cover.
We could leave it up here, and they could hit it. They
the
could
problem
hit it
is
He's describing a shot.
I guess we could try to come to it. But
if he leaves that red
leave it out here and make it okay.
for
Yeah.
without it, then he's given the other skip away
Leave it
into
up
the
and-
button.
Yeah, he's looking for where he can bury. And I'd be a little concerned about burying over on what is the
Well, if
right
you come
side
up
of the
with
house,
sort of-
because there is a red stone in the four pack up in front
So
that you could conceivably run back. It's in the pack, but it's loose enough that you could get there to run it back. It wouldn't be an easy shot by any stretch
No.
of the imagination, but it would be something you could look at.
He's going for the shot I want.
What's he doing? He's drawing.
Hit and roll.
Hit and roll. What's he hitting? He's hitting that in there, rolling in there. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to get something behind cover, and so let's try it from that side.
No, he's going
no,
for
he's
a draw.
He's drawing in. He's drawing. You're wrong.
yep. That's
Well, no, they
do you
hit
think on
they
weight?
hit they hit jams. They hit and roll jams on his stone.
Not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Okay.
It's a tight one. There's no
Well,
question.
at this
But he's
point,
not comfortable with it.
Yeah, at this point it doesn't matter because he has called his shot. He's doing the draw.
Yep, and that matches Richard Chin's suggestion in the comments. Simply draw for 2 now, then you draw for 3 or hit for 3 or 4. You just want to get one in there now, covered,
Yeah.
and then you can use your hammer where you don't have to worry about setting up your future shot or
Right.
giving a shot to the opponent.
So, shot John Stone is on the way.
Needs to
Looks
curl.
like it was
Hit the red
pretty
crawl.
good
No,
on
no,
the
no, no, no,
broom.
no.
He's asking his sweepers to
No.
let it curl.
Take out the red. Take out
Starting
the
to
red.
come out. No, he's gonna
Go
end
for
up-
a tick.
He's gonna nose his red. He's gonna nose that other red
Push them back.
with
Push them
enough
back.
to push it back, but not. I don't think it's enough.
It's at least 2 yellow,
It is
but I
2
don't think it's 3.
yellow.
I don't think it's 3.
And actually, he's actually made his yellow
Hit here.
because a straight run back
Nice and
now
solid.
jams.
It dries that there.
I'm
dries that
happy
there,
with
the
that
shooter
shot.
goes
I'm
there.
glad he
okay.
ended up playing
It's
off
not
the
a
red.
horrible. Yeah, it's not a horrible result by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so looks like Dave Schmel with his last stone spends a lot less time looking at it.
He knows what he has
He
to
knows
do.
what
He's
he
got
has
to get
to do.
that
He's
out
got to
of
pop that yellow out. I think in a perfect world he tries it. No, actually, I don't think he cares about that one on the outside. Never mind.
there. No.
No, I think you
just
you
gets that
actually don't
one
care
out.
about. You want to roll toward the center would be great.
Hit hit high nose, make the double,
Actually, he's taking
and
he's looking for the
hopefully
double.
get underneath.
He's looking for the double and a roll. So degree of
make up for
difficulty
my
lots.
stupidity. That was a pretty stupid shot, guys.
And Dave recognizes that his previous shot was perhaps ill-advised.
That's right. Okay, a little up.
He's going to throw some weight at this.
He's asking for a delivery out to the edge of the ice, so that's sometimes under fives have problems getting that line, but he's definitely got the hit part.
It's
Although no, well,
He got the roll. He didn't take out both yellows, but he is second
Great
shot
sweep, guys.
now.
Thank you.
And has
okay.
all
Yep.
but
Does John have any way to get rid of that?
not much.
I don't see any. I don't see any
All
realistic.
right, I might have bailed myself out of that now.
So
there might be a way for him to just nibble the button and get his 2 that way, but
Okay,
I don't.
promise not
Not
to
with
call
that yellow
any
guard up there, I
ego
don't think.
crap like that again.
I go back to justifying my shot. If he had not left that, if he had done a hit and roll on the red and moved it in,
Leslie wants you to mark
that
the tape,
shot
I
would
promise
not have
to
been
call a
there.
Silly shot again.
he needed, that was a very dangerous position
Right down
for
the
that
side for
shot
me
to
for
be
the
over there,
string.
that red.
yes.
So I wish he had done a more positive
Play it on a loop on
hit
our
and
answering
roll,
machine.
that John had done a more positive hit and roll, so he didn't leave that shot for Dave.
Okay. So currently Scholl is sitting 1. 1 doesn't really do much good at this point.
No,
But
A little more weight. I think knock him
he's
off.
trying. He's not
wasn't
trying to
gonna
draw
throw
because
mine
that's
outside.
way too tight of a line for the draw.
Just nice up.
so what is the call? I don't understand this.
I don't see it. I
don't either.
I don't. Unless I mean, this is the side of the ice. It doesn't curl much, but it curls more than that on a draw to the
Yes,
button.
for a draw.
Because let me tell you, when I was clueless out there and I was looking at the window going, can anybody tell me? Anyone?
Well,
He's throwing a draw.
He threw it outside the
He
room
did.
that he laid.
He did.
And they all sit back and go,
Yes.
He's got the sweepers on it now. You know, actually, he's got the. Now it came over too much, and it's just going to pop
Okay.
into the pile.
Yeah,
and change the
I think he just didn't commit to whether he wanted to go inside or outside his yellow,
That line's tough
and
to draw
because he
on.
didn't really commit,
That
he
line's
didn't
tough
really
to
hit
draw
either
on.
one.
Yeah, but so he does at least stop the bleeding. Gets on the board for the first time in 4 ends. He's now down 5-2 after 5 ends. Never Blame the Iceman, skipped by Dave Schmel, has 5. Sweeping Strangers, skipped by John Scholl, down, only has 2. We're in the 6th end, 3 ends to go. There's still lots of curling here. There's still lots of opportunity to come back, but
There
ends-
is, but I have to give Dave Schmel credit for
Played-
how he played that
played that very well defensively. Yes.
defensively to make him take the one and the only one.
Exactly.
one
Sheet
right
D
here in the middle.
has hung their 5th end score. Giddy Up took a 1 with their hammer. They are now up 5-3
no.
over
Give me a
the
guard.
Kraken from Petersham.
Yep.
Giddy Up, Mark D'Souza, skipped from Philadelphia. Petersham, oddly enough from Petersham, skipped by Lucinda Booth. Sheet A is also in the 6th end, so they have a 5th end score, but I don't think it's been hung yet.
C is putting the
Dave.
Rocks away
Yes, the line.
from their 6th, and Ingalls with the Red Rocks scored, but I did not see how many they
As
scored.
far as you can now.
Okay.
Silver curl.
But they were only down 1,
can
and
bring
so
it in.
they have at least tied, if not taken the
How's we
lead.
gonna head? Okay. So exciting game going on there.
You guys got it. Come on. Got it. Got it.
Okay,
Alright,
John
thank you.
Scholl. I'm not sure he really wanted. Well, he had the sweepers on it, so he must have wanted to come into the house with this. Maybe it's a situation, what he's been playing
Take it
hasn't
out.
really worked. So switch it up, try something else, see if we get some lucky. See if we can kind of change the karma of the sheet a little bit.
Well, he does need rocks in the house, and so now he's forcing Sweeping Strangers, Never Blame the Icemen to do hits, which they have not been doing.
Yeah, the front end hasn't had any hits yet, so maybe
Let's
he's
see.
relying on the front end to miss. That can be a very valid strategy for under 5s. Challenge the leads. Not all leads and under 5s are a crapshoot.
Yep.
The good ones are very, very
on,
good.
pull
The ones
over.
who aren't so good,
Hold
they
over.
aren't so good.
Hey, we never got out there. It's okay. No problem.
Okay,
well
and that
inside.
so far that in this situation that worked.
Yep. Their lead just didn't come out wide enough with the delivery. It was well inside the broom to begin with, and once you're calling an intern, if you're inside the broom, you're never going to get out. So that's what happened there. John really going back to the same side of the sheet.
He might be trying to guard
puts
that,
a-
I guess.
That's a lot of curl for
That's
a
a
guard.
lot of ice for that. Maybe he's going for a center line guard now.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Nope, he's looking for that.
Bethany threw inside a center line guard, bro. Actually, this kind of looks like it's going to be a hogstone.
I think so.
I don't even think it's going to make the hot. Unfortunately, it looks like Bethany took too much
Yeah.
off of that.
She's shaking her head. She's
Yeah.
not happy.
Yeah, that was a negative 2 hogstone. Missed
Let's try
good
the other
5
handle.
feet hogged, unfortunately. These things happen. So
Just
Looks
normal.
like Dave's going to try and do it again.
So the fifth end, we already know this fifth end score over on sheet A.
Oh,
We
wow.
covered
So
that
the
earlier.
score on C that Ingles just
Whoa.
hung was a 4. And so they are up 6-3 now.
Okay.
after
Wow, that
6
was
ends.
big.
That was a big end. I wish I'd seen. How
I
that
wish
developed
I'd
at
seen
the
that
end.
go too, yes. How they managed that.
Hard, hard, hard! Hey! Hard!
Okay, going
Come on,
for the
hard!
take, and it looks
Very
like
hard!
it's
Very
awfully
hard!
light.
Hard, hard, hard!
Sweepers are on it pre-earned. There's not going to be enough. The
Gonna
most you
have
do is take this
contact,
more towards
but
the middle.
not
I was going to
be
do
a
is tick it over
takeout.
towards the middle a little bit, and just enough of a tick. His stone
Damn it, I
slides
should've said nothing.
into the trip hazard zone.
So busy staring at the
Actually, truthfully, that stone is still very much in play because that could be you could do a corner freeze to that or use it as a backer for something out there on the edge of the 12.
Or it can jam on a takeout
Jam on
and
a
a rock that
takeout.
doesn't leave
That's
the house
actually a
down.
very dangerously placed stone. We'll have to see if that turns into a factor
split.
Well,
later on in the end.
Put something in the
Dave
middle.
chuckled quite loudly on that one, so.
Yeah. Okay, now John's splitting the
Something
house.
here.
Despite the fact he doesn't have the hammer, he's almost playing this with a hammer-like strategy.
He is. So it's very interesting. But he does need stones.
Yeah, to a degree it makes sense on the basis of the fact that he's got to score. Holding the other team to 1 at this point, I mean, it's good, but it's not.
Got a long way to come
He
back.
needs a steal more than he
That is
needs a hold, a one hold right now.
I think he felt overwhelmed by the number of guards and stuff up front in the last end.
Also true. Okay, this stone is behind the tee in the back 8, just to our right, viewers left of the house.
Yeah, he does need a steal here, but he also he needs
Take
a
that
big
out.
end, and it's much easier to get the big end with the hammer.
Yeah.
And so if he gets the force now, while it makes the scoreboard worse, it does give him
two
more of the
chances.
chance for the
It's
4
true. And
later.
apparently the ice this draw does give up some 4s because we've seen one on the on sheet A, we've seen one on sheet C. So there are some 4s in the air. We'll see what happens. Okay, Dave taking another crack at that stone on the outside again.
Looks like he's got the broom this time.
Whoa, whoa,
He's
whoa.
got it.
He's looking for a roll to the inside. He's going to get a roll to the inside. It's going to cross face.
And we wish that the other skip was sweeping over here. But he was
He
not
was-
paying attention.
Well, no, he was actually paying attention to what was going on over on the other side of the sheet. His stone, remember that stone that we were wondering if it was going to play a factor in the end of this end? It's now in the house in the back 12 because it got spun in by the shooter on that last stone. So now the red stone is number 2, but yellow does have 1 and 3.
Might be okay. Yep.
This is looking good. A nice draw.
Looking for
They're all sweeping.
guard.
Just get a guard out of it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Yep, yep, yep.
Well placed 3 guard, just on the center, enough to make the peel, enough to make so the peel has to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the call.
This is really
Yeah,
the first
I'll-
end that
I'll take your peel.
Dave's had to have his front ends really play a peel game. Has he thrown another peel? I don't think he's thrown a peel.
No.
This is the
For you
first
guys?
peel they've
Yeah.
actually tried to throw this game. So John's strategy of changing things up, paying some dividends rather.
Let's see if this
Whoa,
comes in. It's looking
Whoa, we
a
might get
little
this one.
outside. Oh, he may go
Whoa,
back.
He
He may
might be
get
getting
the
one in
back
the
end.
back. No, I think it's outside everything actually.
I'm not lucky.
I have to stand up on this one, guys.
Yeah, it's outside. It's out. He threw it.
He threw it outside.
High and outside, ball 1. So John now sitting here with, he has the shot stone guarded. And he's asking, we up to vice stones? Yes, he's asking his vice, Michelle Ryan Schwartz, to bring in, he actually wants to put another stone behind the guard, top 8 weight. Although he's changing. No, he's just coming from the other side. That's an interesting choice.
I'd rather see him play on the other side.
I'm not sure what's possessing him to move over to this side. Maybe he knows something about Michelle's delivery.
That we don't, because I'm
that.
concerned about him messing up his guard on this shot.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much has to. I mean, it's a skip's preference, really, but I think I would have come from the other side.
I would, too. And we're never wrong behind the glass.
Absolutely never. I have never missed a shot from this seat yet.
I was just about to say that. From this chair, I have never, I curl 100%.
Okay, just for the record, Michelle did kind of fall on that delivery a little bit, so.
And now she is going to do exactly what I hoped she wouldn't do, but at least she's
well,
going to get
but you know,
second
that's
shot
actually
at it.
Actually, she's got to make it into a 3 because she's got to make contact with that
got
red,
that jam,
knock
yeah,
it
look
out
at
of the
that.
house. That actually
Oh, that was fortunate.
turns it to a 3. John Scholl sitting 3 in the back, courtesy of that red, but all
They're
3
all
are
in the
behind
back.
the tee.
They're all in the back, and
exposed.
none of them are behind that guard, yeah.
No.
So I'm relatively certain
Let's
that
just
Dave
draw here.
Schmel is about. No, I'm wrong. I was going to say Dave Schmel is about to play a hit, but he actually is looking for the freeze draw to the what's currently the shot stone,
down
just
to it.
to the viewers left of the center line in the back 8 foot. Looking for his vice,
Yes, line.
Leslie Gray,
Yep. Sweep.
to execute that freeze. Got the sweepers on it really
Super
fast.
hard.
Sweeping
Afraid-
hard
yeah, I think
because
he's
the
afraid it's
stone
gonna
has
curl.
already started to cut.
Hard.
It's already cutting hard. I think he's past the guard. Oh, he's past the guard with room to spare.
Past the
But
guard,
he's going to tip this on the
think he's-
outside. What's the roll going to do? Okay, he got the shooter. He got the target stone out of play,
That's
and
okay.
actually
Don't worry
buried
about
his
it.
shooter.
Life is good.
I'm not sure that Dave believes what he just said in
Around this
terms of
way.
life is good. He looks a little exasperated. I don't know why though. 'Cause really, that stone.
It worked out very
that
well
stone
for him.
ended up. You really couldn't. If you had to, you couldn't really place a stone better than that, really, in terms of placement.
Yeah. More than pushing back.
John needs to come back, needs to come around his guard and out count.
And actually, he called this for a hack weight shot. So he's looking to hit that red. He asked for hack from Michelle Ryan Schwartz.
I'd rather see draw weight and
draw weight tap.
tap, yeah.
But he said, I'm 97% sure I saw him. I heard him say hack. And looks to me as though
Looks like
Michelle
it's
threw
outside.
a hack. But it is outside. Actually, Michelle did
Here
not
it
throw
comes.
hack.
Yes.
No, she didn't throw hack.
So either I misheard or she misthrew. One of the two.
Whoa.
It's going to tap the guard, actually. It's going to promote the guard back towards. Actually, it's going to tap their.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what did
earlier.
that do? Okay, so the redstone is still sitting shot.
My
The
bad.
redstone is now actually pretty fully
Exposed.
behind. Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No,
I disagree. I think
it
there's
is
something
definitely
the
still
cover.
behind the yellow corner guard.
From this angle, no,
Yeah,
it's
kinda
half
like one
exposed.
here.
Half exposed on the
Yeah,
outside.
so
maybe?
he's got, yes, so on the
Okay.
inside.
On the
So he's got,
Okay.
he's going to put
Or you
something
just
up
take care
there.
of some of these.
Or is Dave gonna do? Because I mean, Dave. At some point, Dave needs to realize I'm up by 3. There is virtually no sin. I'm up with 3. I'm sitting shot. There's no sin in blowing up two of the opponent's
Absolutely,
stones.
and now he's decided that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, because at some point it's just all about making it so the opposition can't score the big crooked number.
Take him out.
Yep. Yes. Sweep.
Ooh, I think she pushed that delivery.
Really hard.
That's a
Come on,
long hard.
And there's a reason for that. It is inside the.
It's going to get one.
It's going to get just the 1, no comment, and the shooter rolls clean through.
Gets rid of 1.
Got rid of 1.
That's okay.
And we
Good
now
sweeping,
know
guys. Thank you.
just how much air Dave Schmel holds in his lungs, and what the top of his octave, what the top of his vocal range is.
Both statistics that would go on the Dave Schmel trading card if one such a
absolutely.
thing existed.
Absolutely. I'm seriously considering of whipping one up between games.
There's a lot of ways we can do it, yeah. But
I'd like to see him come down too.
the draw path is here.
Nice draw in.
Well, he just said that, I don't actually, was that Dave or was that John that just noted that there is a draw path to that stone
Yeah.
very easily?
I think
Yeah,
that was.
there's only
I think
one,
that was Dave.
only one guard
Just
up, so
playing
lots
down
of
too long.
lots of downweight paths to get to wherever you
Right.
need to go in the house.
And just for a reminder, for those of you who may not realize, Dave's got the Dave Schmel playing the Redstones has the hammer this end. He held John Scholl to only getting one last end, so he's got the hammer and he's up 3. So even though this kind of feels like an end being played as though John Scholl has the hammer, he doesn't, which could be a big factor. Okay, the sheet A game, the 6th end has posted their score. Iced Amarentia only got 1 with their hammer, so they are now down 7-4, playing the 7th end, and actually they're well into the 7th end.
Oh, I made that double.
And Red's game is not looking all that solid over there, so Iced Amarentia, skipped by Spencer Stevens, is kind of in a little bit of a world of hurt right now.
Keep it in the even end.
A lot of contemplation going on sheet C
Oh, yeah.
in the 7th end.
There's a lot of choices here.
All right, John Scholl's in the hack. Please tell me he's not trying a clean hit on that red stone.
I hope that's not what he's doing because that
That
will not do him any good.
Well,
It just leaves the pocket open for Dave to
Yeah.
come down. I'd like to see him just come to.
but he didn't put anywhere near, and he doesn't have anywhere near enough ice for it. But he threw a draw weight.
He did throw draw
But that's
weight.
gonna curl over and tick the guard, which ticking the guard's not a sin.
Yes, come on, guys.
Or is he
you got
past
it,
it?
you
Did he
got
get past it?
Whoa.
He snuck past it. Okay, he knows more about the ice than I do.
Yeah.
And he just taps that red
Oh.
back and pulls it not quite out, but far enough out. Right now, John Scholl lays 3. But again, Dave Schmel does have the hammer here, and I mean it's
Yeah, just
The
go
ice is wide
freeze to
open.
that.
He's
it's a clean draw.
Dave's got
Dave's got
hammer.
two
He's got
perfectly good draw open, draw lines. Yeah, John's sitting 3 right now, but Dave is truthfully still in control of this act.
everything behind the T line,
Yeah.
so it
One
really
hand.
means
Freeze
nothing.
down there.
So Dave is just calling a
Oh,
draw.
that's a
He basically wants to
halfway hit,
freeze to that yellow stone in the back 8 on the
Absolutely.
center line, and yeah, that
Probably an
just
85.
that shot breaks John Scholl's heart if he pulls it off.
Let's throw an 85.
Because right now John's thinking I might be able to get away with this and get back in this game,
85 all day.
but I've seen no reason to believe that Dave's going to miss this shot. Nice clean form, clean release. Looks like it's pretty much on the
Black-
I
blue.
like that line. The line
Sweepers
looks
are not
good.
touching it
It's
yet.
got to curl. It's got to curl. It's got no line.
Oh, it's
He's
gonna
calling for
curl.
Yeah.
It's gonna curl.
It is gonna curl. They need to sweep that.
Needs to curl. Now, actually, he's light. He is
Hard.
very light.
Hard. All the way. Come on. You guys got that. You guys got that. You guys got that. You guys got that. I know you do. I believe.
He's right. Those guys got that.
They did.
Okay.
right.
So, however, it's high
It's-
enough that John can
I
pick
was
that
just a little
out.
wide there.
He
Probably
does have to-
stick in the
he
rings and be
needs to
sitting
pick it out.
4. And,
Yeah,
you
it was
know,
scary.
drawing against 4, these are under
I
5s.
wasn't scared.
Sometimes you can apply some pressure, and you know, even the Dave Schmels of the under 5 world sometimes will crack under the pressure.
Yeah.
But John has to make his shot first.
He does.
Okay.
And it's doable.
Oh, it's very doable. Game on sheet D. Oh, there was another big number. Oh, we already knew about this. The 4 hung on sheet C. Never mind. Ingles got their 4 in the
That's a
6th
nice
end.
shot,
They're
Spencer.
growing the 7th right now. Do we have a 6th end scored over on sheet D? I don't think we do.
Hasn't been posted yet.
No, it hasn't. Okay.
There is a lot going on sheet C.
There is a lot going on sheet C.
They have a lot of rocks in play.
And John's kind of spending more time on this shot than I would think he would have to.
Yeah.
But, I mean, truthfully, to a large degree, the shot does kind of define his game. You know, he could find a shot that actually gets him back in this, or he could miss this, and we might as well be shaking hands. So it's absolutely critical that he get that stone out of play, or at least so it doesn't count. Out of play would be ideal.
Question is, what side is he planning on trying to hit it?
Unless he's coming with he's coming with crazy heavy weight, he's going to be picking it out to our left.
Yeah.
Which is the viewer's right.
More in the last one, but not
no, there's not really a line to kick it straight back.
It's a precision pick.
He's looking.
Let's see what he's got.
He's looking for a high angle one way or the other, and I don't know if the shooter's going to stick. But
I don't think he.
I didn't think
he has a hope of that.
I don't think he cares.
But he does have to pick it out cleanly.
That's kind of light though for a clean pick. This may over curl. I'm a little concerned about that weight on this shot. But he doesn't have sweepers on.
It's got a chance if it crosses the face.
If it crosses the face,
he's
come on
not
through.
Quite going to get to the face. Is it going to pick it out the other that way?
And
Actually,
he does.
But it.
Well, he did the best he could with that.
Yeah,
he really did.
John Scholl is definitely sitting 2, and he's definitely not sitting 4. There's an open question in my mind about the third, but that's only really going to matter if Dave Schmel completely misses this draw. He's got a wide open draw to the button with backing.
Yeah, and he only has to touch the 4 foot.
He doesn't even actually have to touch the 4 foot. He can come up a couple inches short of the 4 foot and be perfectly fine. So.
But as far as I'm concerned, John Scholl can be happy with that shot.
Yeah.
He did the best he could with what he had.
About the only thing I might have wished is if he had caught it on the other side, and because then his shooter would have at least been sitting on the center line, preventing a little bit of a block. But that's a quibble at best.
If wishes were fishes.
Exactly. So
Dave
throwing his stone.
A nice.
Nothing wrong with the delivery
straw.
there.
Go.
Oh, one of his sweepers got on it. He's saying go. He's saying go, but I think it's just, I don't know.
Oh, is he light?
Yes, the skip at John actually came in on it. He's on it hard.
Oh my gosh,
They're
he
going to
came
make the
up
house.
light.
It's a cut down.
He made it light.
But he's got
Oh, he did it.
Yes.
Wow.
He got enough to get his one. It only took all 3 sweeps.
Okay.
As you mentioned, he could be a little bit short of the 4 foot, just like that.
Yeah.
And he still gets a 1.
So that's what he needed to be. And this is why there are sweepers in this game. So.
And a lot of chuckles from Dave on that one.
Yeah, Dave is pretty much saying, wow, my sweepers just bailed my bleep out of that one.
Yeah.
I do like the way John tried to make something happen in that end.
Sure. And honestly, John, truthfully, he did what he needed to do. He held Dave to 1 point in that end.
He did.
So he needs a big number. He's got 2 chances to make a 4, or if he makes a 3, he's got to steal 1. 2, he has to steal 2, etc. But, he extended the game. And sometimes that's all you got to do is just keep extending the game.
5-6 is fine.
And Dave is definitely starting to play a bring it into the house strategy. Up 4 with 2 ends to play, no question.
Come on.
Sheet C in the 7th.
Come on.
Ingalls from Potomac followed up that 4 that they've gotten in the 6th with a steal of 1 to go up 7-3, coming home in the 8th. 4-point lead. They don't have the hammer, but they're up 4. They got to feel pretty good about their chances there.
They do.
There are 17 stones in play on sheet A in the 7th. I have no idea what the result is going to be.
It was sweeping.
And they don't know either. They're looking at it now.
A lot of stones in play over on D as well.
Shout out to all the front ends.
You hear Dave Schmel there.
Yes, complimenting his
Shout
front
out to
end.
his front end.
He knows how skips make their money.
By complimenting the front end.
Yes.
Well, they make their money on the backs of strong front ends.
Yeah, exactly. And
Good sweeping.
You can. It's so far out there. We get it in.
All right. John trying to put one out. I don't think he really meant to put this out here.
Nice sweep. Good job.
I think he was actually hoping for a corner guard, but he got much more of a over the edge of the 12-foot. Now, if that stone turns out to be the 4th and a 4, he'll be glad it's there. So, you know, it's in play. Sometimes that's all you can ask for the front end is give me 2 stones in play.
I like top 4 again.
Dave drawing into the top 4 again. Basically, it looks like he kind of wants to mirror image the first stone on the other side of the center line, rather.
He is in the catbird seat right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Go ahead. Whoa, take a look.
Sometimes applying pressure works.
That looks a little strong.
Does look a little strong. I think he's going to at least get to the tee.
Sorry,
back 4 foot,
that's fine.
maybe even back 8 once John puts his broom on it.
It's not a double A, so.
Just touching the back 4. Close enough.
Oh, it could be, but.
John needs to work on hiding in plain sight. He needs to come to that back red.
Yeah, that'd be a good shot. Freeze on that back red. And he looks like he's thinking about
That's
it.
what he's doing.
Okay. So everybody's consensus is that that's the smart shot?
Well,
oh, don't overthink it.
Don't overthink, John.
you send me another one out here.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Poor choice. Well, different choice. We'll know if it's a poor choice in about 10 minutes.
The problem is Dave's got those guards in his back pocket, and he will just guard the heck out of that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But John's saying to himself, I got to put up a big number, so at some point I'm going to have to make a hero shot, or my third's going to have to make a hero shot. And when that happens, I need to have some shooters, some scorers to make a difference. Or the front end could hog a stone. That's always a bad thing. That doesn't help. Bethany showing her inexperience. It happens. As we were discussing earlier, this is her first year of curling. So, you know, sometimes first year leads.
Line more important than weight. Light is better.
We actually have a measurement on A.
Oh, that discussion that was going on that we saw earlier has
devolved into a measurement.
Andy making sure over on seat C that all the yellow is disappearing.
And he's got a lot of the red in play. Yellow's running out of stones because they're down 4, and if I'm counting correctly, they've only got 5 more stones available to them.
Yep.
So looks like Andy Ingles is in firm control of that game over on sheet C, basically just trying to bring it home. Still playing the 7th on D, as we are, of course, here on B.
Come after this.
They've got the measurement done on A. Red got that point. Question is, how many other points did they get? And I honestly can't tell you because there were way too many stones in play.
But we are going to see.
Fortunately, they're hanging a number. Thank you very much. It's a large number. It's a 1. Okay.
1.
So
1 yellow.
It is now 8-4 in the 8th. Cape Cod ahead of Ice Dame Marentia, and you may have seen in the peripheral vision they just decided to go with the throw stones through the house strategy, because when you're up 4, it's probably not a good time for Frank Kemper to do a face plant as he delivers a stone.
But they are.
But he got it on line regardless.
He did, and it's looking good for taking out, and maybe a double.
Perhaps he should fall more often.
Okay.
Because
that is an all-timer.
He
absolutely
face plants to lie 1, and you know there
ended
are
up
worse
shot.
things to play. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with face planting to lie 1.
There are no points for style or technical execution in
That's
curling.
right.
That's a really flippin' good thing, because if there were, I would lose every single game. Not that I don't already.
And if we look across the board at all the sheets, we'll see that there's a significant pulling away by each of one team on each sheet.
I think we cursed it when we said all 4 games were incredibly competitive.
Well, they were at that time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was exactly the moment when all of a sudden things went to not so much.
Whoa!
And
that was a nice pick.
Just enough
nice shot, Ian.
Nice pick.
Dave Schmelz got his team very much in let's get rid of yellow stones mode. which John Scholl's very much in, no, I need some Yellowstones to stick around mode. If I was him, if I was John, I'd consider freezing to that one in the back 8.
Yep, he has to hide in plain sight.
But that's not what he's doing. He's trying to get behind the guard again. Or it's not really a guard, it's biting the top 12.
This has good line. Oh, is it going to come in? No. Is it on the back red? Oh, I wish they had swept it.
Also no. It's actually going to go straight through the house, clear through the house on the center line. Might stick in the back 12, sticks in the back 12. So it's another situation where, and that's actually probably, right now, that's actually second shot. So
unfortunately, there are a lot of, there are 3 reds that are causing a lot of trouble.
yeah.
Take it out.
Dave has wisely chosen to just keep clearing out that yellow.
Yep. North Carolina curling over on sheet C, throwing their last gasp stone. They have 4 stones left in the game. They need to score 4 to tie. That stone is wide open. Andy Inglis basically looking for the hit to just end that game there. Wrecked on his guard. He wrecked on his guard.
Okay.
So
Did not take the yellow out.
Dave Schmel maybe giving John a chance here. What's he going to do? Is he going to draw in again, or is he going to? Yep, he's drawing behind. That's not what I would do. Well, I would still freeze to that red in the back so that later on, if I needed to, I could tap it to possibly bring that yellow, that's the yellow that I got in the back 12, into a scoring situation. At this point, he's got to find points. He's got to do everything he can to reveal points on the board.
Absolutely.
And he's got a couple stones that are in positions where they could score, but in order for them to score, he's got to get rid of some red.
How deep are you?
And drawing behind cover is not going to get rid of red stones.
This is critical sweep call here.
He's got the sweepers on it.
Get behind that red. I'm not sure it's going to make it. I think they need to be on it a little sooner.
Nope,
they did.
He's going to be in front of that red.
Yeah.
Now, it does serve the purpose of guarding his stone in the back 12, which, is a purpose, but it's not as useful as it needs to be.
They're looking at it, and they're not seeing much of it. Draw down to it.
Or does Dave blow stuff up?
Oh, he's going to attempt to.
Just hack weight.
Yep. That's a nice call.
Tap the yellow out in the back just with a hack weight. Really only doesn't need to make much contact with it. Okay.
Over on sheet C, Andy is working on getting that yellow out.
That's going to do it. Whoa. That's going to be a nose hit. Yep, that clinches it. Andy
That's
Inglis. Yep, and there's the concession in the spirit of curling.
Yep.
North Carolina curling has no way to make a game up, so they concede.
Whoa.
Andy Inglis' team from the Potomac Curling Club wins their game against Coastal Carolina in the B quarter, so they actually will be playing in the B semi against the winner of our current game at 9 p.m. So good job to them. We'll see them in a couple hours, I think.
And just to update on our premier sheet, Leslie Gray had a wonderful tap back to take out the yellow shot in the back. And well called, well played by the team.
Okay, good nose. So John's kind of in a world of hurt now.
He is. He's trying to do the same thing now that he just saw Leslie do.
Yeah, because honestly, taking one here is not a viable option for him. Taking two is really not.
How deep are you?
Not good either, because he'd have to steal two in the eighth.
All right, come down to this one.
Just as an aside, I did overhear Dave on the mic talking about Sam over on sheet A, talking about using the weight call fluffy bunnies.
I should see all that there.
I hear that a lot actually around here at Potomac. It comes from a couple different people. Generally, you're in the hack, you need to throw a guard. You've not thrown a guard all game. You just think about fluffy bunnies.
Okay, that's quite a visual.
I have never used that. I may have to now. Okay, and actually, out of that, Michelle
Ryan Schwartz did manage to do just that, what
Yep.
she wanted, what he
And
wanted to do.
they are currently shot, which is why Dave, with his first skip stone, is going to try to follow that exact same path at that exact same weight and lather, rinse, repeat. And he wasn't the one who threw the last one, so he's got to throw it.
They're sweeping, sweeping hard.
Feels like it's on the right line.
Are they going to get by?
Yes, clearly by. Definitely got the nose.
Got it. And a roll.
Actually, even a low roll the inside to improve that shot a little bit. And you may hear the applause in the background for Team Ingles coming off the ice, getting ready to rest for a few hours before their game at 9 in what will be the B event semifinals. Iced Amarentia trying hard to figure out a way to make the 4 that they need. Looking a little unlikely at this point, but anything's still possible. And they're done with this 7th end over on sheet D, trying to determine the score right now.
All rocks in play except one. So let's see what happens.
Okay, they're not pushing stuff back to this end, so whatever it is, they're playing the 8th. John Scholl
trying to do the same thing. He's trying to come down to shot rock.
Yeah, probably a freeze to it at this point wouldn't suck. Probably can't get there for a big hit. That's got a lot of bend left to do.
Right through that hole.
Let's hold the weights down.
I think he's got the hole. I think he's just hit.
He just whiffed.
Through the field. No, actually, he made the contact.
Unfortunately,
but he rolled to where right now, actually, truthfully, Dave Schmel is sitting 1 and 2 and actually
maybe
probably
even 3.
But even 2 is enough.
Yeah.
So over on sheet D, Giddy Up, skipped by Mark D'Souza from Philadelphia, took another 1. They are now up 8-3 over the Kraken team from Peterson.
85 all day.
And over on sheet A, game over.
Okay, yep. Iced Amaretja concedes. Cape Cod's Team Uhl, skipped by Kathleen Uhl, Scott Illingsworth, Jeannie Roque, and David Uhl. They will advance to the C semifinals.
Actually, no, let's go.
So we're now down to 2 games remaining in play.
Yeah, we can go now.
Dave has thrown his final stone of this 7th end.
Leave it high.
Looking to just kind of put a guard up to keep John from getting his 1.
That's fine.
Nice guard.
That probably does that. John Scholl's looking at a situation where all he's got to draw for 1
on the other side
to put himself in a situation where he has to steal 3 in the next end. So
next board meeting.
game's not over, but Dave Schmel is kind of putting a stranglehold on this. John needs to pull a rabbit out of his hat here. Well, I mean, this is a fairly straightforward shot. He just needs to get to full 8 foot on the draw.
Are you continuing the rabbit analogy?
I am
Funny bunny?
Yes. He
And
needs
now
to think
rabbit.
of cute, fluffy bunnies.
If he's throwing a draw to the 8 foot, it's not fluffy bunnies. That's
okay. So it's rascally rabbits.
maybe. I have played with Mike Churlo, who will use the animal analogy.
I hope this isn't too strong.
Online,
I think
it's a little strong.
The sweepers aren't touching it.
It's
come on.
It's into the house.
Behind, and he's got his 1. He's got his draw for the 1.
It's back 4.
Okay,
Wonderful.
so John executed part 1 of the plan, which was to draw for his 1 to be down 6-3. He's going to need to steal 3. It's not an impossible ask. It's a hard ask, but
the game is still alive.
The game is still alive. Over on sheet D, we're throwing stones in the 8th with, as I was said earlier, I believe, Giddy Up 8-3 over the Kraken team for Petersham.
All right, we need guards.
And basically, actually they just managed to just kind of flash a hit. So there might be a little breath of life for the Kraken team. They're on serious life support, though.
Yep.
John correctly identifying that need guards.
This looks a little light, unfortunately.
Needs to definitely be over the hog, because even a high guard is still a guard. A hog stone
Are
is
they
useless.
going to get it over? They
Yes,
got it over.
It's over. John correctly pointing out that counterintuitively, when you need to score a lot of points, you need to guard.
Out, throw, through, gone. Sayonara, arrivederci.
Descriptive ways to throw it through the house.
Dave Schmel displaying the range of his vocabulary, telling his lead, Michelle Schaefer, to throw through the house using about 6 different languages. Didn't actually throw through the house. So actually, technically, that's a miss. She threw it out of bounds and sent it through the house, but the effect is the same.
Yes.
So, yeah, if we were keeping stats, that would be reflected negatively upon her score.
Center guard.
However,
Would it actually? Because
Yes.
once the call is through the house, that you don't even score the shot, do you?
when I was actually volunteering at the Continental Cup a couple weeks ago, they had the officials and stats briefings at the same time in the same room, and technically, yes, that would be a 0.
Oh, wow.
Because they did not throw the shot that was asked for with the rate that was asked for. Even though the result was exactly, it's a weird thing. Technically, when they're keeping curling stats, if you unluckily, or if you luckily, even though you totally botched the shot,
I
end
want
up
to
with
see
this
them
beautiful
sweep
thing.
this
Oh, right.
one.
That's a 1 out of 4 or
Yeah,
something like that
a 0,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
I wish they would sweep this. Well, they didn't sweep early enough.
But it is a second guard. So he's got guards established on our left, the viewer's right side of the house. So he could start thinking about how to use them. I'm not sure. I don't like the staggering of them, though, because to use them effectively, he's going to have to come from the outside in, and that's the side of the sheet that's been
Squirrely.
squirrely. Good word. Treacherous is also a good word.
Okay, here we go again with another OB.
Okay, that one was actually deliberately thrown out of bounds. You can tell from the curl of the handle. So that was a good shot, as opposed to the last one, which he didn't ask for that.
Okay, let's see if we can get a guard behind cover. I mean, a stone behind cover.
Behind cover. He's choosing to come from the inside to get behind the guards, which is probably the wiser course of action.
Yep.
They needed to get on that, and they didn't.
did.
It's
Again.
gonna, well, okay,
Let's see
so
if he gets a
are they
promote.
going to get enough of it to get a promote rec? No, all they're going to do is get a guard peel. They do both stay in-house, and now he's got 3 guards. And one of them's in a position to be
wait, please.
raisable.
And now wisely,
Yep,
Dave is going to peel that one out.
right. So
That's a dangerous rock.
yes. Second peel attempt of the game for Ian Schaefer. Never blame the Iceman second. He missed the first one last end, so let's see what happens.
They're not calling sweep. Now he's
Yeah,
calling
they are.
sweep. Oops, I think it jumped.
Hurry
I
hard.
don't
No.
think
Hurry
he's
hard.
inside
Hurry
it. He
hard.
might clip it from
Hurry
the
hard.
inside.
Hurry hard. Hurry hard.
Did clip it from the inside. Did he get there? Did he get
Nice
the
shot.
He
split
did.
on the other side? Yes, he did. I don't think it was the called shot, but it worked. So it was called. It was the called result.
Go behind.
Okay, so John Scholl's in a situation where he's got to start coming in the house because he's got to score 3, and he's only got 5 stones more to do it with. So he called for.
I hope
Frank
he's not going to
Kemper's
leave this
last
too late.
stone.
Come on, start sweeping.
They're on
Please.
it now. I think they're past the guard.
They are.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Now up.
now is the weight light enough? Is it going to stop in front of the tee? Right on the tee. Close enough.
Nice shot.
Nice
Tee
shot.
weight
They're cheering.
pretty well behind the cover.
Frank Kemper really liked that.
Frank Kemper with his last
Just
shot of the
level up.
game.
If you wreck there,
accomplished
that's
his
okay.
goal.
Just make sure we got enough weight that we get. Nothing stays.
Over here on sheet D, it's a little bit interesting. Peterson Crackham actually is successfully doing what they need to do to score the 5 that they need. They've only got 3 more stones to do it with, so they've all got to get in there. But at the moment, they're still alive. They're extending the game.
And that's what's exciting, is to see that never give up
Exactly.
lives.
Dave Schmel asking his
Harder.
asking his second. Michelle Ryan, Leslie
Whoa,
Gray.
roll the red. Yeah, Michelle, hard.
They got one guard out. They got a guard out, and actually they got the guard that the shot
That's
stone was
actually-
behind out of the
that's actually
way.
Not too bad.
So now John Scholl's only got the one guard. Oh, John, no. Too early to come in the house. No, do not bring. You got to guard. You got to guard it higher. That's a double waiting to happen.
Yep. He needs to come behind cover. Well,
I don't know if I would complain about him putting a guard just guarding that stone, just touching the top of the 12. But he asked for it. He practically asked for a freeze almost. This is not the right shot for this situation. Now, admittedly, they don't often cover how to come from 3 down in the 8th without hammer in the how to skip school. So
yeah, it gets to a point where you can't really follow the book when the book doesn't cover a lot of these situations.
This is not in there. And even Richard Chin on the commentary.
And this looks a little hot.
Is it got a freeze or is it going to tap?
It's going to tap, but not bad.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
it's exposed though, so they could both go bye-bye.
Boom.
Yep.
blow it up.
Some weight.
Dave Schmel asking Leslie Gray to basically put this game away by bashing into both of those two. If they both go away, we're in a situation where John's got 3 stones to score 3 points.
Sweeping right away.
Sweeper right on it.
Come on!
Oh,
Come
I
on,
think.
you gotta go.
Is he on the guard?
He's on the guard.
Okay, so what's going to happen with the roll? He could spin in because he's definitely hitting on the inside.
Go!
It's going to go clear through.
Okay. That gets rid of the guard.
Dave is correct. That does get rid of the guard.
Well, John Scholl dodged a bullet there.
Very much. So John's considering. Actually, this is not a bad idea.
No, I like that.
Make that a heavy pack, because you just saw Leslie miss a hit out there. Make her miss another one.
And put it right in there.
Yep. Your only game at this point is to apply the pressure and make the other team hope the other team folds. This looks a little heavier than the last one was.
It does. Unfortunately, I think that's...
It is starting to come over.
No, it's got a lot of weight.
It's got a lot of weight. It's got a lot of ways to come. I think this is
that's
not a good time to go through the house. That was the worst possible thing. Well, okay, it's not the worst possible thing that's going to happen, but it was on the list of bad things.
It didn't help at all, and they really needed all the help they could get.
Okay. He's not actually calling. No, he's calling the hit. He's just giving it a lot more ice this time.
Yep.
Wise choice, seeing as how his vice blew it out.
Yep. Yes.
Sweep right away.
And she still flipped it to the outside.
She did.
There is a really good chance that this blows outside everything.
Hard.
It's really curling. She doesn't have enough weight.
She flipped it on the release.
Hard.
She makes contact, but not meaningful contact.
Yeah, it needed. She flipped it, and it didn't have the weight.
Now, what
so
she did,
bad
what
combination.
that shot did do, that did create some separation between those two. So John can't create that tight 3-pack that's really hard to blow up.
Hit something yellow, please.
I've been there.
John asking Michelle with her last stone. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not Michelle's. It's John's first stone. We're actually skips rocks here.
The Bonspiel committee needs to fill that with vodka.
Dave looking to, or John looking to go into the pile.
And so over on sheet D, just a quick update. Petersham Crackham basically had 2 stones to get 2 points. Unfortunately, their draw wrecked on the guard up front. Although technically they could still stay alive and maybe do something interesting with spins, they're deciding that nope, not enough. So they have conceded over on sheet D, and the Giddy Up team defeats Petersham Crackham 8-3.
I think we need less.
So the only game still in play here is our feature game. I like the way that works sometimes.
Yeah, kind of nice, makes it nice and exciting.
John Scholl throwing his first stone.
Let's see if he puts it in the perfect spot. He's still alive. That's all we can say.
He's still breathing.
No, he doesn't want to guard. He has to.
Whoa.
They have called up.
Okay, so he's going to tick off that one up top and kind of roll over, as long as he doesn't take it out of play.
All right, he's still alive. Yellow lives.
Well, although there is a double possibility. Truthfully, a nose hit on that yellow stone on the tee line probably takes that stone and the stone behind it out of play. which would end the game because John Scholl would only be able to score 2, and he needs 3.
Yeah, wait.
Now, any miss, and life gets entertaining.
There are jam possibilities here.
There's lots of jam possibilities. John Scholl's in a world of hurt, but
It's coming down to skip rocks.
it's coming down to sip zones, and I got to be honest, truthfully, so far this game, Dave Schmel's been curling about 10, 15 points better
Yes.
than John, so I kind of, Dave feels good about this shot. There's no guards. It's just a nice wide open nose hit. Puts his sweepers on it immediately, sweeping it hard.
Very hard! Very hard! Very hard!
He may get the
He's
double.
got the top one. He's got
No,
it's a
he
jam.
did a jam.
He knew that was going to happen.
Okay, so the shooter did stick to be shot, so unfortunately that does constrain John's options because John's got to get rid of that stone. Nose hit.
Hit this.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it wouldn't be bad if he got a little roll.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, if he rolls to say under the red guard,
I hit something
then
yellow.
No.
Dave's got a wide open draw for the 1.
Yeah.
So he needs to roll.
He needs to roll over in front of his
Yeah,
yellow.
he doesn't.
Yeah. I guess. No matter what
Doesn't
he
matter
does,
where.
There's
Dave's gonna
not a
have.
lot of
Dave's gonna have a
chances.
wide open
Dave's
shot.
got to have
right.
a wide open shot to hit something.
He will.
Either
So,
to
I
hit
mean,
something or
truthfully,
draw to touch
honestly,
4. Yeah.
what I would do is I would try to get a nose on that red stone, and the reason for that is now all 3 of my stones are just stones. There's no way that he can miss by a little and kick another one. So you got the most number of holes that Dave could accidentally throw his stone in, and you got to kind of maximize the other guy's opportunity to miss sometimes.
I like the fact that John is able to throw his last stone.
Absolutely, this game has come down to John's last stone and then Dave's last stone. It's very much alive.
Oh, this is not.
It's got to get there with the weight. They're not sweeping it for
They're
weight,
not
though.
sweeping yet. Boy, it needs to
Because it
curl.
needs the line.
Here it
needs to
comes. Here it
move.
comes.
Is it coming? Is it a little bit too late?
Oh,
Is
it
got-
doesn't
gotta
have
cross
enough.
The center. It's got to cross the center. Is it
Doesn't
going to
have
get
enough.
contact? He's got contact. It needs more. It needs more. Actually,
Go,
he's got
go,
just
go,
enough.
go.
Technically, right now, John Scholl is laying 3.
He's laying 3, and there's. I mean,
This is
it-
nerve-wracking.
and
Unfortunately,
the shot stone is cutting down the scoring area.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
so-
but honestly, unfortunately, all Dave has to do is throw a heavy shot somewhere on the right, as the viewers see it, right side of the house, and he's going to hit something and it's going to go out of play.
Right, and he doesn't have to clear everything, and he doesn't even have to actually score at the end of this. He can hit one and roll out, and he wins the game
perfectly
fine.
with a miss, basically.
So unfortunately, it's too big of a target.
Right.
He's got it basically, unless the sweepers burn the stone, John completely falls over on the delivery.
Slightly more than
or
Even
the
then,
stone
because
picks.
it's a wide target, if he falls over, he could probably just
Yeah.
leave it into the gap there and hit something.
I mean, John's got a situation. He's done all he can do. He's laid 3.
It would really piss off the ice crew.
But yeah, at this point, all he can do is pray for a burned stone or a pick, or a leprechaun on the ice, or a complete mess up.
Black girl. Black girl. Let it curl.
No, this is going to make
This is
contact. It's over. Unfortunately
It
for
hit
John.
something yellow.
Yep, Dave is correct. It hit something yellow.
It does.
John,
That's all he needed.
John does score 2.
Removes a yellow.
It was a valiant effort by
Yep.
John at the end.
John does score 2, but unfortunately that just brings the final score to 6-5.
Okay.
The sweeping strangers are eliminated from the tournament. Never blame the Iceman. Dave Schmel, Skip, Leslie Gray, the Vice, Ian Schaefer, and Michelle Schaefer, the front end. Representing the Bucks County Curling Club, will be moving on to our B event semifinal, which will actually be occurring at 9 p.m. today. They're not actually going to be in the feature game. They're going to be on the other sheet. We'll be showing the other semifinal at 9. But that wraps up all our action here in Draw 8 for all of the curlers. Michael Sell was the operator board, and Wiggins with myself, Alan McNeil, on the commentary. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back in a few minutes with Draw 9. Have a great evening.
And thank you. I enjoyed my time here.
Yeah. That's always a good thing.